Whether it's spewing the worst takes imaginable,
Most overrated rapper to me, and you know, he's a legend, but I fell victim to this at one point too. And then I had to really sit down and really think about it, like, yeah, he's dope, but he might be overrated. Andre 3000. Only because he never put out a solo rap project and he gets GOAT status.
thinking they're gangster when they were raised in a gated community,
Boy, they think they gangster. They think, boy, come walk these streets, man. This shit get wicked. Be safe. They like, be safe. I'm like, what the f you mean be safe? When that sun go down, well, I don't know what they got going on over here.
or simply losing touch with reality.
Who do you like better and who's had more of an influence on LA? The Game or Kendrick Lamar? Thinking about it, when they said done more for LA, first of all, I know Game's career is longer than Kendrick's career. Of course. So he's been around LA longer to be able to do more stuff.
There have been tons of rappers, media personalities, and more broadly, anyone associated with the hip-hop genre who have become notorious in the community. Today, we're gonna go through the most infamous ones. Born in 2004 when his father was already a multi-platinum selling artist, King essentially grew up before the world's eyes on the reality TV series The Family Hustle. A show which began when he was 7 years old. It's as if King Harris forgets that many literally saw him in his early years and the surroundings he grew up in, which were in no way the ghetto. I mean, just take a look at some of these scenes from growing up with King Harris, with comments like, "I miss this King. Bro, we all saw your rich life. Just cause you stayed over at your grandma's house here and there, don't mean you're from the hood. Your parents even told you, but your delusional ass still tries to deny it even though we know what's up." It's clear that somewhere along the way, something shifted. The innocent, carefree kid from reality TV started portraying a completely different image. One that felt forced, inauthentic, and downright confusing. And it left people wondering, what happened to King Harris? From his early teens, he was intent on following his father's footsteps and making it as a rapper. He even once lobbied to be homeschooled to focus solely on music, only for his dad to shoot the concept down.
I need my career to start now, because if it don't start now, then I'm gonna be rushing to get it later.
You don't say when it's time for your career to start.
Baby. No,
You ain't put in the work.
You don't know.
You a child.
But there's childs out there making more money than me.
Children. See, that's why you need to be in school.
You don't understand.
You got plenty.
I want to make a name for myself.
But let him do what he doing. Don't try to stop him.
Quit babying him. Let him go through it.
And in a sign of things to come, he threw a fit when he didn't get what he wanted.
I'm fighting for what I want, and I'm
Well,
trying to get
keep
it.
fighting, young man. Keep fighting. Ain't gonna do nothing but make a man out you.
Don't cry.
What is you still trying to coddle him for? Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do. Stop coddling him.
Still, he persevered. Even if he treated going to public school as though it instantly made him deserve respect for coming from the trenches.
You know, I was definitely gonna ask, like, if you went to public school.
Yes. Yes.
And so your experience was that, how would you say it was?
It was wild. I want to say it was wild. It was like, it was good and it was bad. It was like, but you gotta embrace it all. I mean, with the good come the bad, with the bad come the good, so.
And while it's unclear exactly what he was like in school, there is one video of him squabbling up in a bathroom over someone sporting a Kodak Black hoodie, likely inheriting his father's beef from around that time. I can't show you the video on YouTube, but although it looks like King was taking a hell of a beating, he at the very least got respect for holding his own. But instead of just inheriting his dad's beefs, he went a step further and tried to inherit his dad's bankhead beginnings too. From the jump, as he launched his rap career under the name Kid Sayin, he pushed the idea that what people saw on The Family Hustle wasn't the real story of his life.
I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
Like, bro, we literally watched you grow up in a mansion. And around that time, he began flexing his family wealth like it was his own.
My name is King.
Yeah,
I'm just 14.
yeah,
I got the money.
yeah.
My pocket's lean.
It's my birthday.
While this could be chalked up to him just being a naive kid, it was about to get way more ridiculous to behold. And soon, the aspiring artist would be making headlines for his antics, with each new story wondering how he churned out like he did. The more controversial aspects of King and all of the posturing began to come to light as he became an adult. In one prominent example, there was an incident in 2021 where he reached for his bag during a verbal altercation. leading many people to wonder if he was packing a firearm.
Let's go. Put your head around me, talking out your ass like you want to do something. What's up, bro?
Oh, Lord.
What's up, bro?
Nothing.
What? Relax, or what?
Nothing.
Or what?
Nothing.
Or what?
But while no one took real issues with him standing his ground on that occasion, the more frustrating aspects of his personality began to come to light. Specifically, his complete lack of regard for other people. Take for example the time he offered a homeless man $50 to do the one chip challenge. A chip that's so dangerously spicy, it actually killed a 14-year-old kid in 2023.
It's a different flavor, but it's still hot. So look, there you go, $50, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Oh shit. Oh shit.
This immediately prompted a public outcry, with people asking why on earth he'd do something like this and what it meant about his upbringing, not to mention issuing warnings. Let's have a moment of honesty with T.I. Your son has a problem. He needs discipline, he needs guidance, he needs to mature, and most of all, he needs his ass beat. He's gonna end up coming across a real street dude who will do him dirty, bring him in the house and put him on punishment. Soon, things would get progressively worse. During a trip to a Waffle House, King showcased just how bratty he could be when they got his order wrong.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. We out here. I'm outside. I'm outside. Come on, shake some. Come on, shake some. Come on, shake some. Hey, get your employees. Get your employees. Yeah, fucking something in this. Wait till I get back and see him out here late night. Wait till I slap a. Alright, yeah. Yeah, wait. Wait till I come back in the market late night. And then it's just you and I slap you up. Yeah.
Almost immediately, he got clowned by the entire world for his entitled ways. It even led people to look at T.I. and Tiny a little sideways. I don't care what I've done, how much money I've made, how many chart-topping songs I've made. If my son grows up and talks to people like that, I'm a failure. T.I. failed at parenting this child. This is a disgrace. As the public grew increasingly angered with him, King would ramp up his attempts to be a gangster of sorts. It even wound up getting him arrested alongside fellow hip-hop Nepo Baby and son of Boosie, Tootie Raw. And at that point, T.I. knew something had to be done.
Stop hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama and his grandmama, his going to prison. If you got to keep this up, they're going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Cause I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
This behavior meant he soon caught Charleston White's attention, leading to a crazy exchange between them and what would become one of his first major online spats.
Yeah, I just want to tell T.I. son, that nigga say my mama raised a bitch. Nigga, your mama and dad raised a yellow freak.
Boy, Charleston White, you's a bitch, boy. Man, we was about to whoop your ass when you come back down here from telling. I can see you had a soft upbringing.
As usual, Charleston didn't take kindly to the threats and suggested that if King tried anything, he'd be happy to off him on the spot. Literally.
Yeah, that nigga T.I. son say, nigga, I'll whoop your old ass. Now T.I., you got a yellow motherfucker look how your son look, talking about he'll jump on a 50-something-year-old nigga. Say T.I., listen, if your boy jump on me, y'all will bury that yellow motherfucker. I right in his goddamn throat. Well, I wish an 18, 19-year-old nigga would jump on me.
With an audience that was more than happy to laugh at his antics, things only went from bad to worse. At an Atlanta Falcons game, King once again tried to posture like he was the toughest guy in the room, only for his own parents to publicly shut him down on video when he tried to claim he grew up in the hood. It was one of the most embarrassing reality checks he could have gotten, and it was all caught on camera.
What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean? You are embarrassing yourself and the family.
Eventually, this progressed to the point that T.I. would have to restrain him.
You are embarrassing yourself.
Man, get off me. Man, what is she talking about? Get off me, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Man, get off me, nigga.
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't shit you can do with me.
And with that, he became a laughingstock once and for all. If I grew up privileged and silver spoon fed, I wouldn't take that as an insult. Who would take living in a mansion as an insult? Fighting with your dad in a press box must be nice. This was obviously a very public L, and yet, rather than take it and learn from it, he tried to use the incident to drive his fame.
People confuse standing on business as you being a thug, a gangster. I ain't that. I just stand on business principle. I stand on respect, disrespect. That's what I go off of. So it ain't a nigga trying to be hard, a gangster. Nah, it's just how I'm raised and what I can take and what I'm not taking.
Unsurprisingly, the whole thing wound up getting him trolled relentlessly. Whether it was by comedian D.L. Hughley.
How you stand on business, you ain't even stand on your own 2 feet. Like you famous because we know your daddy. If King Harris, if he had roaches, he was on a reality show for years. So those roaches were actors. Stop it.
They're paid roaches.
I'm not, they're union.
Union roaches.
Or his old nemesis Charleston White.
God damn it, I told T.I. he should have kicked that boy ass when last year. If T.I. would have kicked that boy ass last year, that boy wouldn't have had to jack him up today. Yeah, that boy showing out at the Falcon game, embarrassing the family. This is that King little ugly ass. Oh, that boy got a big mouth on him. And he talk loud with them big old red yellow lips. Oh, yeah, that boy loud in the motherfucker. Oh, yeah, he fucking with the Atlanta Falcons up there disrespecting them people, hollering about he standing on business. Boy, if you don't sit your look, you bruise too easy to stand on business. Yeah, that little yellow motherfucker bruise too easy to stand on. Man, nigga, boy, everywhere he get touched, it turn red, purple, and blue. Man, please, that nigga, he can't stand on business that yellow. Hell no.
Ultimately, the whole thing was downplayed by T.I., but he did concede that he has no idea what his fascination with pretending to be from the street is about.
I think the largest misconception between he and I, because I call him, I say, man, you from the suburb. And me, as a person who came from the turf, I'm, in the city. I'm from here, and all while I grew up, I looked there and it was the destination. This was, the place people wanted to be to change their life and have a better way for themselves. When my mama wanted to get me out the hood and go and put me in, have better surroundings and better schools, so on and so forth. That's where she took me, and that's where he grew up. Now, and also the necessities being, already present.
Suddenly pulling in more views and followers as people tuned in to see what he'd do or say next, King seemed to misconstrue what this meant and overestimated who he is in the culture.
Bro, JC, if you was just here, bro. A said, I'm pretending to be them. I'ma pretend to be broke. Why do I want to do that? A legend is somebody that's been relevant for more than 10 years. Okay? It's a legend. They've been known, respected more than 10 years. I've been known, respected more than 10 years. I'm the youngest legend ever. You hear me? You hear me?
Intent on standing on business, his use of the phrase and suggestions that he basically invented led to a dispute with Drewski after he used the phrase as the title of a song. And allegedly, he even pulled up to the video shoot.
He said he pulling up on you. Nah, he did pull up on me at the video shoot. We had too much security out there though. Nigga tried to do a stare off. Nigga got out his car and just stood on kind of like the top of the car like that and just, I said, man, and this nigga going right back to that nice ass house. He don't know shit about standing on no business, man. And y'all know that. Y'all stop playing, man.
Afterwards, King clapped back, and in all fairness to him, he had some good lines.
Restaurants need to calm the down. You and them wide body Hellcat hips need to calm the down. I can't believe this just tried to call me in the interview. And I just seen him a couple weeks ago. We seen you run from him. We seen you run from Birdman. We ain't seen me. I ain't never ran from nobody. It look like you got a and you walk with a strap. You got your dad legs and your mama body. You hear me? You built like a punch buggy. You tried to... Just seen you. You just called me the king of standing on business. You was just riding, called me the new king standing on business. Then you gonna go to these people platform.
Still convinced that he was tough, King even went to the point that he was trying to tap into the celebrity boxing lane by calling out the late Foolio to a fight. And if you know anything about him, he wasn't one to mess around with. So he issued a stern warning. I barely post or troll anymore, King. Find you something productive to do before you be watching Netflix in heaven with our Lord and Savior. Clearly, King is hell-bent on getting his own bag, and in 2023, he revealed that he was charging obscene amounts just to have the pleasure of talking to him, writing on his Instagram story that $10,000 for an interview or I don't want to talk. Unsurprisingly, he doesn't do a lot of them. Despite his insistence that he's killing it, his rap career isn't taking off like his father's did. With just about 16,000 subs on YouTube and even fewer listeners elsewhere, the young legend can get a feature from the likes of DaBaby and Sexyy Red.
We hit Sexyy Red up, but not her directly, but you know what I'm saying, her people hit me over the fucking head, man. They obviously not trying to fuck with a he hit me over there, but Sexyy Red chopped it up. Because if they try to tax me like on some 50K. These same people, like DaBaby tried to charge me 100K for a feature time. Like stuff like that, bro. I'm not, cause if I fuck with you and I wouldn't do that to them.
Or even get Waka Flocka Flame to attend his birthday party.
Cause I know how it be, man. Waka Flocka, man. I reached out to Waka Flocka. Nigga left me on scene. That's crazy. But shit, man. Maybe one day, me and Waka come from the same side too. So that's crazy.
All the while, he continues to get in trouble with the law. After he was charged in August 2022 with speeding, knowingly driving a motor vehicle on a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs, he refused to show up in court, and this led to an arrest in October. After spending a few hours in county, King immediately took to his IG and seemed to take it as a badge of honor rather than something to be angered about, leading to even more people to be infuriated by him.
Another thing, I'm a free man. Stop, goddamn, I'm not locked up. I'm straight. I was, but I'm back. I'm straight.
He's a crash out. I can't imagine growing up rich and churning out like this. You can't say parenting or environment cause all the other kids are mellow and be out the way. Speaking of the other children of Tip, they seem to have claims that he's misunderstood, or at least that's the view of his brother Damani.
I think everything King's trying to say is just coming off. He's using the wrong words, I feel like, and I told him this. I feel like what he's trying to say is what was on TV is not exactly what actually happened. And I think he's only trying to say that because people try to treat him differently because they think that. I don't think he's just out here just saying it out the blue because it's something. I think like we are living our own lives. He got his own thing going on. I don't know what be going on when he go outside or he was in school. We went to different schools.
As for the gangster persona, it's still very much intact. But it's not because his dad is just letting it happen. While filming a music video with Tootie Raw, the pair were waving around firearms, and when they spotted it, their fathers intervened to basically remind them that they're not about that life.
Well, in the manner in which you portraying this lifestyle, this shit don't look legitimate, sir.
When y'all got drugs around those legal guns,
that called
it's not
possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. Why y'all don't take no one in love? Yeah, girl, right here. Why don't you talk about being in love, man?
Later, King tried to brush the whole thing off, claiming he didn't even have a gun in his possession.
I ain't never seen me post a gun ever in life. I don't even own a gun. That nigga say, you be around Tootie a lot, you gonna be taking some licks. Ooh, shit. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. This is for, I'm for entertainment purposes only.
But as always, the people were not listening. You want to be your dad so badly, but you ain't got it. While for others, they cautioned that if he's not careful, his lick might run out, and he might get checked on everything he's portraying. He's the definition of he gon' learn the hard way. He has so many incidents where he's sort of skated out of stuff, but he keeps tempting fate. I just know he be stressing T.I. and Tiny out. This is obviously the case, with Tip left confused about whether he's trying to impress him or prove himself to his father with these antics.
The places like where I'm from, and he and I think he be thinking that I think he's soft, you know what I'm saying? Like he trying to show me that he can protect himself, and he, you know what I'm saying, that he's a man of a certain stature that I have inspired him to be by being myself.
Crazily, King is now a dad himself, welcoming his first child, King Jr., in November of 2024. And even after this, he's still flagrantly airing his business out to the world, including the fact that he cheats on his baby mama regularly.
My baby mama don't care, so you can't it's not nothing special, we just kicking shit, have a good time, you know what I'm saying? My baby mama don't mind. So you can't try to be messy and say someone baby daddy trying to, no. Cause the baby mother doesn't care.
Now primed to release his Be Ready EP soon, the new father of one seems absolutely determined to make a hip-hop career actually work. The only problem is that no one else seems to be interested in hearing it. Among the most disliked individuals on the internet, his rep as an entitled fake gangster is one that isn't going away anytime soon. And without making amends or changing his ways, no one is ever going to take him seriously. So he needs to mature massively before he could ever obtain real success. Otherwise, he'll only ever be known as T.I. and Tiny's bratty son, who had a pacifier till he was 12 years old. And man, that's not a good reputation to have. It's your boy Luesta, and if you want to learn more about Nepo babies and hip hop, you can peep the video right up here. Until next time, my friends, peace. From the outset of his career in Brand Nubian, Jamar has always seen himself as a gatekeeper of the culture, as well as being unrepentantly pro-black. So for him, the concept of a white guy from Detroit like Eminem being recognized as one of the GOATs just couldn't fly. And during his main interviews on Vlad TV, he's accidentally let it be known that Shady's success lives in his brain rent-free. At one point, he even tracked down an old picture of Eminem wearing a Will Smith mask, arguing that it should be enough for him to be kicked out of the genre once and for all.
You actually posted a picture of Eminem wearing a Will Smith mask.
Yeah, at the
which you basically said was blackface.
It's a mockery of black people. Like a white dude wearing any kind of black mask is problematic and should be explained. I just wanted to know what the whole context was. Could it be explained? I know at the time, a lot of people in hip hop, black people, might have looked at Will Smith as kind of corny and like very straight-laced type of hip hop, but that's for us to do. You crossed the line that maybe one of us could have did, but you as a white guy can't do that.
Over the years, Jamar just kept coming for Shady, all the while maintaining that Eminem and every other white rapper was a guest in the house of hip hop, rather than an artist who could be truly accepted into the culture as he knows it.
Is Eminem a guest in the house of hip hop? You fucking right he is.
Initially, Shady did his best to ignore him. After all, they were on polar opposite sides of success and love from the world as a whole. But Eminem isn't a man to prod, and eventually, he couldn't stand it anymore. And on the diss-filled record Kamikaze from 2018, Eminem dedicated a few bars on the track Fall to let the former Brand Nubian MC know what he thought about him. And as far as Lord Jamar, you better leave me the hell alone, or I'll show you an Elvis clone. Walk up in the house you own, brush my pelvic bone, you should telephone, and go fetch me the remote. Put my feet up and just make myself at home. I belong here, clown. But it didn't stop there. During a live show in Dubai, Eminem decided to take another jab at his enemy.
I had a dream that I was a nobody who sucked at rap. Oh, really? And then I woke up. And you know who I was, Mr. Porter? Who are you? Lord Jamar.
After that little jab at his rhyming skills, he upped the intensity of his and made them more personal. Because on the track I Will from 2020's Music to Be Murdered By, he called Lord Jamar's skills into question and suggested he wasn't the legend he thought he was. I'm more than you bargained for, and I am far more worse than a 40-some bar Lord Jamar verse. I never was, been claiming rap when it's not yours. If it was anyone's house, G-Rap and Rakim would be having you mop floors. Run DMC would be having you cleaning sinks. Your group was off the chain, but you were the weakest link. In response, Lord Jamar returned to the Vlad TV couch, but tried his best to act like he was unfazed by the whole thing.
I know what this ass said, okay? And what? I'm still unscathed. Guess what? Motherfuckers still ain't listening to that in the hood. Nobody came to me in the hood and was like, yo, I just heard this Eminem song where he went at you. No, they gotta read about it on Media Takeout and shit like that. Because again, my point is proven, nobody listens to your fucking shit. So I'm chilling right now.
But by the looks of it, everyone thought Jamar was pressed about the whole situation. But even though he clearly got in his feelings, there was a brief moment where Jamar actually thought he had at least made M reconsider his opinion. As in an interview with King Crooked, M basically accepted his status as a man who would never be fully accepted by certain sections of the hip-hop listenership based on his skin color.
How do you feel about the concept of white rappers being a guest in the house of hip-hop?
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing. I don't know if I've got a chance to say this yet, but the funny shit is, like, I with the whole beef of a certain person,
right?
I never said I wasn't a guest. Like, I'm absolutely a guest. Like, I never said I wasn't.
Right.
And I never said I was king of anything, right?
Naturally, this made Jamar worth talking about again for a little while. and soon he was celebrating this like it was a historic victory. I guess his ego wouldn't allow him to say, Lord Jamar was right the whole time, and I was bugging for coming at him the way I did. My bad. I'm a guest in the house of hip hop. But even though Eminem made that concession to his spot as a guest, this still hasn't been enough for Jamar to put the whole thing behind him, because ultimately his relevancy is now tied to his hatred of Eminem. And when he mentions him, it's the only time that Jamar's name becomes headline news.
I'm not trying to get back into this whole shit again with this fucker, but I don't listen to Eminem. I don't. As a black man, that's not what I listen to. The way his voice sounds bothers the fuck out of me. I can't listen to him. Can't. That's just personal shit. Because again, we decide who's our GOATs. It's not about record sales with us. It's about who we feel the most. We make these decisions.
Ultimately, it has not done any good in getting the younger generations who grew up listening to Eminem or witnessed his rise to grant what he says any greater respect. Just look at Conway the Machine, literally laughing at his take on M or other white rappers not being in the house of hip hop.
Which I have no problem with.
Oh, shit. Nah, I'm just saying, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm high, shit. That shit took me every. Go ahead, though.
And, you know, we've had these conversations over time. And then, you know, like when Royce would come off Vlad TV, we would discuss it. In the house of hip hop.
But Eminem isn't the only Shady Records affiliate that Jamar has taken shots at. Because even before he was focused on taking Shady, Yellow Wolf found himself in his sight. Like most white MCs, Yellow Wolf was naturally asked for his take on Jamar's suggestion that he and other rappers of his skin tone were eternally outside of the genre. But rather than completely sound off on it, the Alabama MC actually had a pretty ever-handed take on the whole thing.
You know, I can agree with him on one side of it. Yeah, I think he's right, you know. White artists are definitely a guest when it comes to the culture of Black America's musical arts. You know what I'm saying? Or whether it be hip-hop or blues music or even rock and roll, you know. If you want to look at it that deep. I feel like, you know, as a white rapper, the house I've been a guest in hadn't been no, you know, good time sleepover. I haven't exactly had the red carpet laid out for me. You know, I had to fight for my spot, but you know, it is what it is.
Along the way, he also touched on Jamar's controversial views on homosexuality in hip hop, and that's where problems really began.
And if it's a hit record, then guess what? There's a lot of people who feel the same way.
While he didn't seem to mind Yellow Wolf touching on the white rapper territory, he deemed the latter to be disrespectful, and let it be known on Twitter where he said, "My comments about Yellow Wolf were from him telling me to shut the fuck up, not about his opinion. Mr. Yellow Wolf is gonna get himself beat the fuck up if he ain't careful. F Yellow Wolf and every one of his rag fans." When the Slum American leader refused to respond, Jamar upped the ante and said that he'd better make amends before it was too late. "I'm not gonna give you a chance to publicly apologize," Lord Jamar said in a since-deleted interview with Star. "And if you can do that, I'll leave you alone. If you don't, if I ever see you, it's on sight. I don't have nothing to talk about. I'm running at you at 100 miles an hour. On sight. That's how I grew up. You know what I mean? So that's all I can really say. I'm not even emotional about it really. It's nothing to me." Ultimately, this never came to anything, but he still did the utmost to help to bring him down. So when DJ Vlad started digging into the growing tension between Yellow Wolf and Eminem's Bad Meets Evil partner, Royce the 5'9", Jamar was the very first person he went to about it.
But I spoke to this person and he gave me permission to actually talk about what he spoke to me about. And this is what I heard. This is a Vlad TV exclusive, right?
Okay, let's go. I'm ready.
Apparently, Royce sent one of his proteges to go work with Yellow Wolf, I guess out in Alabama or wherever. Yellow Wolf had a white DJ. And, you know, the kid who went out there was black, right? Royce's little man was black, right? So Yellow Wolf has a white DJ, and he started using the N-word around this guy. When the guy went and complained to Yellow Wolf told him that he just needs to take it. And if you're gonna work with us, you're just gonna need to take that, and you're gonna need to basically tolerate us using the N-word with the hard R. And he said that during this conversation, Yellow Wolf was using the N-word with the hard R and said, look, you know, you're gonna have to just take that, whatever. And after all this information got back to Royce, this is what triggered the diss song.
And once he had this ammunition, he ran with it immediately.
I mean, it don't surprise me, because I told you that you got motherfuckers that claim to be hip hop fans that are actual racists against black people. Like, how are you gonna say that you love hip hop, but you don't with black people? That's the type of fan that like Yellow Wolf is breeding. You understand? It's some racist piece of trailer park, backwood, white boy rapping who thinks they're rappers, but they don't with black people. They actually hate black people.
And while Yellow Wolf has continued to keep it pushing to this day, it's fair to say that Jamar savored the opportunity to help to damage his credibility in the eyes of some hip-hop fans. But it would be unfair to say that Jamar is only concerned with actively destroying other artists with his words. Other times, it's who he sees as the powers that be who are faced with his wrath. Following the tragic loss of Nipsey Hussle, there was a lot of speculation about what really went down. Some said it was simply a crime of passion from Eric Holder. Others speculated that it was a paid hit to take out the famed LA MC. But others put forth a conspiracy theory pertaining to his death that related to his championing of a man known as Dr. Sebi, a noted Honduran herbalist who claimed that an alkaline diet could cure all manner of illnesses easier than Western medicine. In interviews, Nipsey made it clear he was a big fan.
I never met him. I met his wife, and I take his products for sure. Why do they kill all holistic doctors?
Messing up the medical industry.
You short-stopping their grind. Why do you get killed for hustling in front of a spot? You short-stopping the grind. And these, they check is billions. You got that get flipped for a couple $100,000. So you playing with some pharmaceutical money, you know? And what's crazy, I'm working on doing a documentary on the trial in 1985. He beat the case, and he went to federal court the next day and beat that case on record, and nobody talk about it.
To this day, that documentary that Nipsey was working on has never seen the light of day. And as a man who loves a conspiracy theory, Lord Jamar was all over this.
Well, I absolutely did think about the Dr. Sebi documentary. That came into my mind shortly after hearing that he was killed. And I'm not gonna act like it's so far out of the realm of possibility. Yes, Dr. Sebi has been reported on and all of that. So it's not like he would have just been coming out of nowhere. Left Eye was messing with Dr. Sebi. That's where she died at. But see, it's all about influence. See, Nipsey had big influence, as you can see by his funeral. So when you have somebody with big influence who shines a light onto something, that can be dangerous to certain powers that be. And I think it would be a disrespect to just laugh it off and act as if it's out of the realm of possibility. Just because we have a guy named Shitty who, you know, we have on camera shooting him, we don't know the full motivation. We don't know if this mother was paid to do what the was doing. I'm not trying to jump into conspiracy theories. I'm not just washing it away either.
But while he was adamant that there was something to it, others were naturally skeptical.
So all you flat earth bros who believe this stupid ass conspiracy theory that Nipsey got killed because of a Dr. Sebi documentary, we're expecting something to happen to Nick as well too now, right? And I really want all these conspiracy theorists to explain to me how come you can go online and pull up all these videos of Dr. Sebi. Wouldn't the government take those videos down from YouTube and all the radio stations that had Dr. Sebi on? How come none of those people got killed? Y'all had them on back in the day, Envy.
In a testament to how wild Lamar's takes can be, this is generally seen as more of a reasonable one. But sometimes he's simply saying what he sees, even if people don't like to hear it. As a fellow New Yorker, it's no surprise that Lord Jamar has a lot of love for the music of Biggie Smalls, even if he believes he isn't quite of the GOAT stature that some people wish to place on him.
Biggie can't be the GOAT because of his limited catalog. And he said Tupac's catalog is better.
I mean, it's just bigger. It's just
way bigger.
It's just way bigger. Yeah, it's more.
Yeah, but
we got 2 albums, even though the second one is a double album, people will say
it's 2 albums.
It's still 2 albums.
2 bodies of work.
Exactly.
And he didn't have a bunch of extra stuff floating around.
But his reservations don't stop at his limited discography. Instead, he feels that Jamar's questionable lyrics fly under the radar way too often.
Well, definitely Biggie has some of the most out-of-pocket lyrics of any rapper ever, and hopefully there will never be a rapper with worse lyrics. But there's so much shit that Biggie said that people just overlooked at the time, and now when we fast forward to where we're at and we hear about all the shit
With Puff, now certain things are not age. You know, it was bad back then, but it's really not aging well now. It's aging even worse. Very gay lines. Like, I don't care how good a woman looks. I would never give fellatio to her father because she's so beautiful. He said he'd RuPaul before he those ugly escape.
Although this would be horrifying to many Biggie fans, he then cited a whole variety of examples.
Liquor be digging me in my hole. Undercover, Donnie Brasco. He said, I fuck niggas who kidnap your kids, fuck in the ass, throw them over a bridge.
On top of that, he also cited that there was a transgender actress who appeared in numerous Bad Boy videos of that golden era.
Then they're gonna go ahead and have a transgender dude in the fucking Flavor in Your Ear video, as well as in the Big Papa video, and in the beginning of the Warning video. And in the Warning video, the Transformer is in the bed with Biggie. And in the Flavor in Your Ear video, the Transformer is dancing behind LL.
At every opportunity, Lord Jamar will sound off on the topic of a homosexual influence in hip-hop and society as a whole. In fact, it's one of his preferred topics to get on his high horse about.
Well, I hate when people try to compare the homosexual plight to the black man's plight, because it's not the same plight at all. Homosexuality is a choice. Black people don't have a choice about being black.
So whenever a rapper stands accused of doing something suspect or actively outs themselves, you can bet that he'll be there with a hot take. Recently, one man who found himself on the receiving end of one of Lord Jamar's tirades was Kanye West. During his most recent run of earth-shattering revelations, Ye proved that he could still shock the public when he disclosed that back in the day, he did some inappropriate activities with his male cousin back in his teenage years. He even elaborated on it in the song titled Cousins. But where most people were just taken aback and hoped that Kanye wasn't doing this purely for promo, Jamar had another alternative view. In his mind, Ye disclosing that he'd done this basically meant that in all likelihood, he was still a gay man to this day.
By the time you're 14, you are what you are. You like what you like. My question is, did he go cold turkey? When he stopped with his cousin, did he go cold turkey, or did he move on to other people? You kind of are who you are by 14 is what I'm saying. So I don't see a motherfucker just going cold turkey after that. Is this how he rose to the top? Like, is this how he became a billionaire? Because I feel like in order to get to a certain level, you got to be with the shits somehow.
To no one's surprise, Ye didn't respond to the suggestion that he'd never let go of this side of himself. But there are plenty of occasions where the general public do it for those he's taking aim at, when they feel he's just doing it for clout. A prime example of a take that had hip-hop fans rolling their eyes at Jamar's blatant attempts at rage bait came when he discussed female rappers on DJ Vlad. As when talk turned to whether or not he saw any merit in what they do, it appeared that he had no time for them whatsoever.
Do I want to listen to a female rhyming about female shit? It doesn't resonate with me. I'm getting ready to go.
Why are you messing
Because when I get ready to go to the club, I'm not putting on my lipstick. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what a girl would say in her rhymes, because that's what she's doing before she go do some shit. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna, if I'm prepping to go out somewhere, that's not what I'm not gonna listen to a female. I'm not gonna get in the car and start driving around listening to ladies first. Like, it's just, it's not gonna happen.
All right, so here's the question of all questions.
But if it came on the radio, now, I wouldn't pop it in, but if it came on the radio, because I do listen to Rock the Bells radio, LL Cool J, shout out, and that song has come on in the car before, and I didn't turn it.
Because of how far-reaching a statement like this was, people basically felt that he'd realized that controversy was a gateway to cash and clicks for him, and was purposefully trying to anger people. Jamar taking his be the most hated to another level kind of feels like he speaks for a whole 3 people. Quick, everybody quote the best Lord Jamar verse. Exactly. And by this point, this is by no means the last time he's made a blanket statement just to cause controversy. When discussing modern hip-hop as a whole, he insisted that there were basically no artists that he saw any value in except Pluto.
Just like what McDonald's does is not traditional cooking. You see what I'm saying? Like, and this is not to shit on nobody, but you got fast food and you got slow cooked home food. Now the fast food's always gonna sell more than the slow home cooked food. Just by virtue of you can cook it faster, okay? And they got way more locations. They're probably corporately funded. Now this nice, Shay Nas, it only exists in Queens or something. And, you got to get a reservation. We're not going to sell as much, but that's just going to stick to your ribs. You know what I mean? You're going to remember that meal much longer than you remember that Big Mac that you had. You dig what I'm saying? That's kind of how I see that. But now people love McDonald's, though. Don't get me wrong. I don't with it. You know what I mean? But I do with Future.
As an old head to his core, there's a sense that as long as it was released prior to what it's being viewed next to, then he will naturally gravitate towards it, even if it leads to some truly ludicrous takes in the process. When discussing who is the reigning king of the West Coast, it feels almost unanimous that Kendrick is the man who's leading the charge for Compton and beyond. But if you ask Lord Jamar, his contrarian ways will see him label another Cali rapper renowned for his unique name-dropping style and crazy statements as the best.
Game is that guy, okay? Compared to fucking Kendrick, Kendrick was like supposed to be a nerd or just a regular guy, and now all of a sudden he's like a gangbanger or some shit like that.
This was wholly rejected by basically everyone that heard him say it. Lord Jamar is a flat earther who thinks he's a Native American and that slavery happened in reverse. Do with that what you will. One user wrote. Another user denounced his opinion on Los Angeles since he hails from New York, declaring, "Hey bruh, we not taking any New Yorkers' opinions on LA seriously. They represent two different generations spanning 20 years, both carried LA for years. As time goes on, no one knows what's going to come out of Jamar's mouth next, or who will get caught in the crossfire. And for the most part, the exchange is fairly one-way traffic, as most people simply choose to ignore the former Brand Nubian. But one of the most heated exchanges as of late came when he waded into the world of Keith Murray and almost got slapped for his troubles. Back in the day, Keith Murray was one of the most exciting MCs to come out of the East Coast. A member of Def Squad alongside Redman, there was a period in the mid-90s where he really had some motion. But over the years, he has battled substance issues which have played out in full view of the public. And while his biggest struggles are internal, he's had issues with people bringing it up, including Lord Jamar.
That's ass fart face get. Try to disrespect Keith Murray. I won't have it. He said when he gonna see me, gonna smack me. Smack who? He said when he word to Rod Digger. Lord Jamal said when he see Keith Murray, he gonna smack me. When he smack, what you gonna do? No. What I'm gonna do? How about your question? You said you switch that blade in your mouth. No. I'm gonna have big face. Larry smack him.
Pledging to slap the shit out of Jamar when he saw him again, Jamar initially called for him to get assistance to help to remedy his unruly, substance-infused ways.
Please get yourself some help, man. Hopefully, did y'all hear about the rehabs? Because I'll read them again if you want to. Just matter of fact, I won't read all the numbers, but I'll just say a couple of the names real quick. Like, get out of me. I wouldn't battle this guy. Boxing, nah, nothing really. You know what I mean? Like, just get some help, bro. Just get some help. I love you, man. I love Keith Murray, regardless, man.
But rather than lead with respect for his privacy, he actively shared a video of Keith in an impaired state.
Yo, Keith!
That's Keith Murray?
Yeah, that's the Keith Murray.
Yo, back up.
Yo, Keith!
What the fuck is he on?
Yeah.
Our brother Keith Murray obviously needs serious help. He wrote in the caption, "I don't have to see this man do drugs in front of me to know he's on drugs. Dude crossed a line with me that I believe if he wasn't on drugs, he wouldn't have crossed, so I forgive him. We need to get our brother clean, cause this is a horrible look." While he acted as though this was an attempt to give Keith a wake-up call, many people doubted his intent.
What was the point in him reposting this to the world? Even if they're, because he may seem like, they're not the closest of friends. They've had some personal issue. But even if that is the case, if it's somebody as your peer, somebody, in the rap game that and like I said, it does it look like to me? Yeah, it looks like
does, right?
I don't want to say he did it for clout. You know, maybe he doesn't understand exactly how some of these things look, and maybe he really thought he was doing the right thing. But my first inclination, if it was anybody I knew, even if we hadn't spoken in a while and we had some issue, if I could get in contact with some part of your family, or I could get in contact with you directly. Because what are you're inviting people eyes onto this who don't know this man and are either going to just feel sorry for him, kick him while he's down, or laugh.
Those who were unsure of his intentions included Murray himself, who basically saw it as an attempt to undermine him.
Somebody got some footage of me and they tried to assassinate my character. But at the same time, they should have just played it like after BET, made it seem like it was current or something. Because BET was spectacular. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. Some people that I don't know got old footage and try to bring it out. But, you know, God is on my side and I don't really talk about negativity. Like, why didn't they post my BET performance? Whoever those people were.
And after speaking more broadly, he then aimed at Jamar more directly.
Why didn't Lord Jamar talk about how wonderfully, gracefully I rocked the stage? Black people always try to bring black people down when they doing good. The devil always come and try to tear you down when God got a blessing for you. So I asked Lord Jamar and whoever that other person was to highlight my show at the BET Awards. It went worldwide.
While Jamar has moved on to other issues since then, Keith has let it be known that he still got smoke for the man that helped to put him on blast.
Just genuinely, I don't like the way he dealt with you, Lord Jamar. We don't have to talk about it. If you want to talk about Lord Jamar, we can.
That's funny you say that, because when that situation occurred and all of the whatever he was saying and bringing it up, and you know what I'm saying, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you want to be a journalist, put that out there like that, but at the same time, your numbers ain't even up when you talk about it. So what did you get from it? Then I did a show with Big Daddy Kane, and I seen him. I was performing. It was him and two other guys, and I was on the stage, and I like leaped off the stage into the crowd, and then he walked up and I just tapped his hat and I kept rocking, like, you know what I'm saying? Then he posted me.
So it's safe to say that next time he goes through Yonkers, Jamar may want to have his wits about him in case Keith Murray wants to run the fade. Although hip-hop is seen as his area of expertise, it should be noted that it isn't just rappers who found themselves on the receiving end of his wrath. And recently, a man who has really gotten caught up in all of Jamar's hijinks is Godfrey. The famed comedian and Lord Jamar have had a long-standing bond. So much so that they even embarked on a boycott of DJ Vlad due to a dispute over how he discussed Minister Louis Farrakhan.
And then Jamar goes, yo, we gotta talk to Vlad about this shit, about this something he said about the minister, blah, blah, blah. I said, you mean the speech that he did over there? I go, well, what did he say? He said, minister said this. I said, no, he did not say that. Why would he lie about that? So we called him on a conference call, and then, you know, we decided to agree to disagree. And then Jamar's like, all right, you gonna stand on your shit, we gonna stand on our shit, we out. So that was when it all started, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't been there since.
They seem solidified in this belief that such a disrespectful statement could not be endorsed. But gradually, the narrative changed to the point that he claimed he wouldn't go back, while Godfrey would.
But the fact that he said, Godfrey is going to go back to Vlad.
Godfrey is going to be a good boy for Vlad. Yeah, he is. I know he is.
He's definitely going back to Vlad. I mean, and he is right there, sitting there, taking photos with Vlad. Damn near have the same shorts on.
Lord Jamar. It's been 5 years. Yeah, it's been a minute.
I feel sorry
Yeah, he
for him,
probably
though,
got a
because
bag.
there was
Yeah,
no
you gotta
bag.
sell something.
But the hell no.
Like
Yo.
a soul.
Yeah, you gotta sell.
Like, how much does a soul cost?
But ultimately, it was Jamar who proved that he valued the attention more than his integrity by returning to the infamous channel.
All right, here we go. The interview nobody saw coming. After 5 long years, Lord Jamar, welcome back to Vlad TV, my first original regular guest.
Has it been that long? It's been 5 years. It's been a minute.
And in the aftermath, he got dragged in the comments for sacrificing his apparent principles. Lord Jamar said, watch Godfrey run back to Vlad after they started beefing. Then he ran back. Lord Jamar officially lost this war. While this was pretty wild and hypocritical, it's only one side of the story when it comes to Jamar and Godfrey's friendship unraveling. For a little while, Jamar became a semi-regular fixture on the comedian's podcast, with the public really paying attention after he used Godfrey's platform as a way to divulge his flat earth theories.
Actually get footage of real planets taken by a P900 camera.
Well, you said
look that up. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on.
Yeah.
If you look up the footage of real planets, what they do is they pulse, they change color.
Yeah, you showed me
They
that.
change shape and all this type of shit. They are not round. The only thing that you see is round is the sun and the moon, and those things are here in our atmosphere. They are not 93. The moon,
The sun is not 93 million miles
away. The moon is not 230
something miles,
whatever
thousand
thousand miles away. They are right here in our atmosphere with us, just like they appear to be. And those, hang on, and there are stars and there are moving luminaries. There are moving stars. I don't know why y'all love balls so much.
Whoa, no Diddy, son.
A lot of ball loving.
Son, yo.
A lot of ball. Yeah, like all the
I
ball.
might be a flat earth.
The ball loving.
So are we being teabagged right now?
I'm just saying, seriously.
There's a
the ball
cosmic
loving is
teabagging
the
happening
ball
right
loving
now.
is a little crazy.
Oh, you're a flat earther. You like balls, nigga.
So check this: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That is the order, and it's all bullshit. And so because
If
we
you
thought
believe
it was
in the
round
Bible,
because
the Bible is a flat Earth book. So if you believe in the Bible, you can't believe in the globe.
This eventually brought him into the orbit of Professor Dave, a viewer of Godfrey's show who came abroad to debate Jamar, and to say that it was a flawless victory would be an understatement.
why you are against what he believes. How about that?
Yeah, Flat Earth is the dumbest hoax in human history. Jamar just watched some videos by Eric Dubé, who just spews a bunch of bullshit, memorized what he says, and repeats it and pretends to be intelligent. Instead, everything you say is so insanely stupid and can be disproven with, like, middle school level physics.
Really?
So, yeah, we can go ahead and you can
Let's
rattle off
Do
your
it.
debate
Show,
talking points.
do you have a
I'll tell you how
working
you're
model of a ball that has water sticking to the outside of it? Can you show me a
Okay,
working model
wet
of that?
a tennis ball.
But, yes.
After getting so thoroughly defeated, Jamar asked Godfrey not to release the episode, which his friend decided to comply with. But Professor Dave had screen recorded the whole thing and continued cooking him after the fact.
I am intimately familiar with people like Lord Jamar. He's a delusional narcissist and complete douchebag whose entire identity revolves around his perceived intellectual superiority over the rest of humanity, despite being a willfully ignorant, clueless asshat. Basically, he's a flat earther. He is 100% impervious to even the most basic facts and logic, and he will not listen to a word I have to say, no matter how obviously correct I am. But when has that ever stopped me before, and made him look dumber than rocks in front of his own audience? So much so, in fact, that after less than 20 minutes of interacting, Jamar threatened to leave the studio if I wasn't cut out of the feed. And then, mere minutes after the live stream was posted to Godfrey's channel, it was pulled. Undoubtedly because Jamar told Godfrey to pull it, since he knew how unbelievably stupid he looked. But my friends, you'd better believe I anticipated exactly this, so I recorded the Zoom session from my end.
And once the world saw it, there was no way he wasn't gonna get cooked. You're trying to get famous out of me. Dave's sitting comfortable with 3 million subscribers. This guy isn't even good at being a flat earther. Despite how it went down, he's now claiming that he'd engage in a similar conversation with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I don't respect Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You don't respect Neil deGrasse?
No, I would debate him in a minute.
Really?
Absolutely.
Damn.
He's an actor. He has
What
a
about
SAG
Terrence
card.
Howard?
Terrence Howard is a smart dude, but he's off too.
The Earth is a triangle. Let me explain. There's isosceles, there's equilateral, and there's scalene. It's not a circle, it's not flat, it's a triangle. You're all wrong. All of you are wrong. And it's because I'm light-skinned that you don't believe me.
But literally no one envisions it going any other way. Jamar would lose a debate so bad he would rage quit. Jamar sounds like one of those cats back in the day who would argue that he could beat Mike Tyson in a fight. Prior to any of this even going down, most people already thought Jamar was a ridiculous being. But it's safe to say that anyone who was still capable of taking him seriously lost his way when this all began. Now, Jamar is blaming everyone other than himself, claiming Godfrey set him up for views.
I think Godfrey set you up because he knew it would go viral. Yes, people are very desperate for attention and, they want to get their thing popping. And it's a shame that people that, you thought you could trust would sell you out for a couple of views. Well,
check this out.
Congratulations. I hope you're happy. Hip Hop since 72 said Godfrey didn't sell you out. You asked for a debate. That wasn't a debate though. That was a setup. Like that was usually in the debate you have somebody who's neutral. You know what I mean? Yeah, but everybody in that room was in on some shit.
And by this stage, Godfrey is easy to dispense these claims with ease, now that he's no longer concerned with protecting their friendship.
He said, I'm going to take some legal action, and then he goes, I didn't sign anything to show my, it's like that you can't, you've been on my podcast before. Now you're doing this legal shit, whatever, it's clever. You can't do that. Like now you're going to do a lawsuit on me? Like what? You called them F words and all kind of other shit, So, and it's almost like you're trying to make up a beef, I guess. Maybe that's a rap thing.
He tried to Drake you.
Yeah, he's trying to Drake me I'm like, huh? It's like, you're bad. Your enemy is the guy Dave, not me. And then you're calling us sucker bitch and all this other shit. I'm like, maybe you're that kind of guy. Maybe you're that kind of whack ass dude. Maybe that's what you are. Because I didn't call you any names. I said, let me just cut my money up. Yeah. And then you're saying, oh, they're just doing this for views. What individual on social media is not doing shit for fucking views? What mother? If you ain't doing shit for views, you should not be on social media. Everybody wants views. That's why everybody and their mama is twerking on whatever. They're doing sketches with their kids so they can be fucking influencers. You have to have views. That is how these fucking things work. Views work. That's how you get money, okay? That's how everybody's doing this shit for views, and you right, I'm doing this for views.
But he's implying you sold him out for views.
I sold him out for views. That's what I did.
You got literally.
I sold him out. My views came because he's been on my show. Stop.
Through his constant campaign of hot takes and wild statements, Lord Jamar has created a bizarre cultural niche for himself. At once irrelevant and relevant only when he says something wild, Jamar has ensured that he'll keep getting coverage so long as the ludicrous claims keep coming. Prior to both the audience and the industry looking as if they're ready to expel him from the game at a moment's notice, DJ Khaled seemed largely beloved by his peers. Granted, there are moments where he made himself a laughingstock with some of his ridiculous moments.
So you saying you don't go down?
Nah, never.
All of that to say you don't go down? Come on.
You don't eat the box?
Come on, Khaled.
You ain't no box.
Not even like for her birthday?
Nah, listen,
Christmas?
She get I put in that work. My work is great. I don't do that.
But generally, most people always seem to view him as harmless, if not lovably goofy. Alongside his tendency towards creating memes, he also became one of the first artists to truly harness social media to his advantage by basically chronicling his entire life there.
I told everybody, I don't care what money out there, I don't want it. I want to chill out. So now I got Snapchat. I didn't know Snapchat. I don't even know how to use it yet. While I was doing all that, I didn't know the whole world was watching me. My Snap broke from a jet ski. Like the phone got messed up. But I was at the Apple store fixing my phone. I turn around, there's like 5,000 people in the store. I said, is Justin Bieber in here? And then they start screaming, Lion, DJ Khaled, Major Key alert. The key is, the grass was brown, now it's green. I ain't give up. They were saying all my talk. People now know DJ Khaled personally, not just for making #1 hits.
Between the presence he created online and the massive network of famed musicians who seemed eager to work with him, Khaled came a long way from his early days as a radio DJ, or working with Fat Joe as part of Terror Squad.
It didn't happen overnight for me. Quincy Jones didn't make Thriller till he was 50 years old. When I turned 40, that was when my biggest success happened. I worked free 90% of my life. 97% of my life, I worked for free. but I knew what it would take.
And even more impressively, he managed to do this without most of his fans having a full grasp of precisely what he does on his records. He didn't really justify his importance either when asked, maintaining that while he does have skills, he doesn't have to use them as his role to curate the atmosphere from above. There are beatmakers and there are producers, Khaled told Complex. I'm a producer. I put together amazing records, whether that's finding the beat or putting the right hook on there and picking the right artists on the record. That's me being an A&R, and I'm making sure that they give me their best. A Khaled record is always the best. I make hits, he continued. I find hits and I put hits out. That's what I do. But over time, the cultural temperature on DJ Khaled has changed. Where he once seemed like someone who'd lucked out and landed on his feet, many fans and creatives now actively see him as a malignant presence.
All I do is win. Got money on my. And every summer, everybody.
And while this is a multifaceted situation, Khaled certainly didn't help himself to avoid this reputation when he basically positioned himself as an enemy of expression in hip-hop. The sense that he was all about commerce rather than creativity began in 2019, when he squared off in a chart battle with Tyler the Creator's Igor project. Coming off the success of Grateful, Khaled presumably assumed that the #1 spot was all but secured for the follow-up Father of Assad. But where his previous album had 2 of his biggest songs ever, there was no real smash single to anchor its release in the same way. Meanwhile, Tyler the Creator had produced something special with Igor, delivering an album which evolved his sound and took him to entirely new heights. From basically every standpoint and metric, Igor rightfully deserved to take the #1 spot, and did just that. But even if listeners voted with their streams to propel Tyler to that spot, one person couldn't stomach it, and that was DJ Khaled. And rather than be a gracious loser, he took to Instagram to complain about being overlooked while trying to devalue what Tyler had done in the process.
I make albums so people can play it, and you actually hear it. You know, driving your car, you hear another car playing it. You know, go to the barbershop, you hear them playing it. You know, turn the radio on, and you hear them playing it. You know, it's playing everywhere. It's called great music. It's called albums that you actually hear the songs. Not no mysterious shit, and you never hear it. On your dome.
Immediately, audiences took exception to his dismissive attitude, and along the way, it felt like people collectively woke up to the fact that his success wasn't something he should be taken for granted, when a diehard DJ Khaled fan isn't something that exists. He lost my respect for that. Tyler's a way more talented and creative artist. Even his old music is proof of effort and hard work. I've never heard anyone playing his music. And as for those in the industry, they saw him as a hypocrite.
And he said, I sell albums, not bundles. You were trying to sell bundles the first week. What are you talking about? If your bundles would have counted and would have counted and would have caused your first week sales to be higher, and somebody called you out for it, you'd be calling them a sore loser.
Rather than respond with anger, Tyler basically laughed it off, pointing out how ridiculous it was that Khaled's entire identity was so wrapped up in being #1 that he went into full meltdown so rapidly.
It was fun. It was just watching a man die inside because the guy that, you know, the weirdo was winning. I was moonwalking in a wig. This nigga had everyone on his album. Everyone. But I didn't say nothing. I just let that #1 speak. The ego had to deal with that because his whole identity is being #1. And when he didn't get that, that sat with him longer in real lifetime than that moment. And the ego was deflated. He'll probably never admit it.
And since then, Tyler has taken great delight in rubbing his continued success in Khaled's face.
And I know you're seething and angry and no one listens to that album. These arena tours that are selling out says different. And if you put that much energy into something, maybe everyone will be proud of you too.
Since then, the two have allegedly resolved their issues, with Khaled telling Rolling Stone that he and Tyler chopped it up at Jay-Z's Rock Nation brunch earlier this year. But whether he realized it or not, this incident marked a turning point in how the public saw him. Through that one ill-advised rant about losing the #1 spot, he gave the world a peek behind the curtain at the man away from the Snapchat stories. And rather than seeing someone they could relate to, they saw entitlement. greed, and jealousy. Plus, the insiders from his own record label's testimony about how he responded to the chart situation only cemented the idea that the real Khaled wasn't the happy-go-lucky character that provided self-styled inspirational quotes in his IG stories. He was furious, they remarked. There was some nasty stuff said. Publicly, he's all about positivity, but there is a mean side to him that people don't see. He overhyped the record and blew it up as his biggest album ever. In the aftermath of not being formally appointed the best on the charts, it felt like DJ Khaled began to try and assert himself even more and talk up his own accomplishments. But rather than being something that the masses could get behind, it seemed like he was just pushing a misconception of how important he is in the game.
Versus battle. Who you beating? Who you going against?
You know, for me, I wouldn't do a versus right now, but if I ever did one, I would want to do it when I decide to not want to make music no more, because I feel like that's when I would want my catalog to be praised. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I'm just getting started. But to answer your question, you know, I really don't see nobody. My catalog is super strong. I'm from Miami, so...
In the aftermath of his tantrum about Tyler's success, everything he does is now seen as the actions of a prima donna, rather than a hardworking producer whose success was merited. And as he continued to flaunt his wealth, things got ridiculous to the point that he was carried by his security to evade his sneakers getting dirty.
I don't want to get my Jordans dirty. Can I get everybody to help me? Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You want to get in the back? Can't mess up the chains. I'm performing live right now.
This can't help but feel pretty tone deaf in a world where so many people have to work multiple jobs just to keep the lights on. But when you consider what thousands of people are dealing with in the country that his heritage goes back to are experiencing, it feels completely out of whack with what's going on. Aside from Bella Hadid, DJ Khaled is arguably the most famous Palestinian in the world. But where she risked being doxxed and getting shadow banned by Meta to make her voice heard about what's going on in Gaza, Khaled has been hugely criticized for his complete silence.
Why'd you make the sign? This man who's a bitch, his name is DJ Khaled, he's Palestinian, and he could be the biggest voice for Palestine if he used his platform, but he stays silent. So why? Because he want that money, bro. He want that money. He sold his soul, you know what I'm saying?
Rather than being a change of heart, this is a long-running issue when it comes to his identity. While he has acknowledged that he is of Palestinian descent, he has never truly cast his hat into the ring to stand up for them, instead choosing to play it safe and avoid saying anything that might stir controversy.
You still have family in Palestine?
Yes, I do.
How do you get involved politically in the Middle East?
I get involved with the peace. You know what I'm saying? Meaning as I'm all about peace. I'm all about unity. I'm all about love, and I want my people, you know, to always be good.
Then, in 2016, Khaled was the subject of a diss track by Peace House, as they wrote, 1 month ago, DJ Khaled, a Palestinian-American music producer, performed a concert for Sabra Hummus in California. Sabra Hummus has been on the boycott list for several years now, due to their support for the Israeli military. This was news to many, who promptly expressed their dismay that he wouldn't stand up for the nation. Never knew that Khaled was such a sellout. The respect I had for him just dropped. And if this felt like basically skirting around the issue, the scrutiny he came under for this non-committal approach for what his people were experiencing has only been magnified since the siege of Palestine began after October 7th, with what was initially billed as retaliation suddenly meeting the criteria for genocide. And now, every post he does is bombarded with comments like this: "Your country is under bombardment and you're dancing. Don't call yourself Palestinian." As the situation in Gaza continues to get worse, DJ Khaled continues to keep living his lavish life and posting it all over the internet for people to see. This has led plenty of people to express their disgust over how little he's doing to raise awareness or funds for his homeland, including DL Hughley, who went off on him over that video of him being worried about his sneakers when there's so much horror taking place.
So I'll see you exalting God when you make a shot, but I'll watch a 7-year-old Palestinian boy who is praying to God for the strength to bear that his family had been killed. I'll watch you pray to not hit a bunker, and then I will watch a Palestinian family pray that they can find one. We are all people, and everybody can do what they can do. But when I watch you have grown men carry you so you don't f your Jordans, we're used to Palestinians being carried. They're just not alive, they're dead. And they don't have shoes, they don't even have feet. And so, to me, you have gone from DJ Khaled to DJ Callous. You cannot be so oblivious that you forget that the images that you are portraying have an equal and opposite effect. And what it tells people is that somebody that looks like them doesn't care. Why should you?
And instead of just staying silent, he's flat out refused to speak even when given a clear chance to do so.
Is that DJ Khaled? Hold on. Free Palestine, DJ Khaled. Free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. He didn't say it.
Because of this desertion, even his own cousin has emerged to speak out against him.
There's no reasons, there's no excuse when you're actually a Palestinian. And for me, my mother lives there, you know what I mean? We're from the same village, same families. There's no excuse, and right now my heart and dedication is everything with Palestine. And
while his own apathy has led him to being roasted by people like Dave Chappelle.
DJ Khaled, let me tell you something. For a Palestinian, this man is awfully quiet right now. As a Palestinian, how could you be so quiet right now? And why are you so fat? People are starving. He's the only fat Palestinian on earth right now.
Given how he's handling the situation, the perception is that he values maximizing his money over ever saying anything that might make him a divisive figure. In a lot of ways, this isn't exactly surprising from a man who changed his DJ name from Arab Attack to DJ Khaled in order to distance himself from the notion of terrorism after 9/11. That might be understandable in that it would be insensitive, but as things continue to get worse in Gaza, his silence has been judged as complicity when he's more focused on networking and securing his next collaboration. And as a result, he's getting more hate than ever. All the while, he's been sitting on Jimmy Fallon enjoying a Palestinian dish to celebrate his birthday without once acknowledging the struggles his people were facing.
It's called maklube.
Maklube.
Maklube, yes.
Well, I wanted you to be in a good mood.
Oh my God.
So I had a little.
No, this is maklube.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Khaled.
Labeled as a traitor by many people in and out of Palestine, his behavior is why people like Mark Lamont Hill from the Joe Budden podcast are arguing it's a necessity he has heard now before it's too late.
Is it wrong to expect famous people who represent a particular group that's catching hell to say something about it? Is that a fair expectation?
I think in this particular circumstance, yeah, there is an expectation that you speak up for it. Just because we're watching an act of genocide and these are your people and you're silent, yes.
And it ain't but three of y'all.
There's an expectation.
The other thing for me is if there were like 100 famous Palestinians out there, like,
exactly.
It's Gigi Hadid, she's doing it. You know what I mean? There's so few that I feel like you have a greater burden.
In fairness, there are some people who try and shoot him some bail, with ICE believing that rightly or wrongly, he's weighed up the pros and cons to his bank account and making a calculated decision.
Some people it's not worth it, yo. I've had conversations I've had conversations with some athletes during when Kaepernick first took the knee. And my man, he was like, yo, I want to take the knee to support. He was like, but yo, I do that, I risk losing this. And he ran down a list of people that depend on me to bring the check home. Some people put that shit on the scale and be like, yo, I'm with you, but I can't be with you.
But unfortunately, attitudes like this are ultimately why so much goes unchecked in this world. And considering Epic Records' parent company Sony has a dedicated Israeli label named One Way, it seems like DJ Khaled would rather sit back and count his money and influence rather than stand up. And while he might be happy with that decision to hold on to his fame without any hint of controversy, history might not smile so fondly on how he's moving. Because instead of providing aid, he's been signing deals reported to be in the low 9-figure range, which has to do with him selling his entire catalog to Influence Media. A deal which seeks to expand commercial opportunities for DJ Khaled with name, image, and likeness rights. It's clear that his focus resides there, rather than on anything beyond his own prosperity. And while that may seem like the only way for him to hold on to his precious fame, what Khaled seems to have forgotten about is that he's already losing some of those collaborators that he is so overly reliant on. Earlier in 2024, DJ Khaled began promoting his latest album, known as Alam of God. And from the beginning of his rollout, one man that was central to it was none other than Drake. When it began, this made a lot of sense, considering that they had a connection that was solidified earlier in his career.
First of all, Drake, man, is an amazing person. It's my brother. He's really supported me a lot in my career. You know, when he first came in the game, I reached out to him to do a record. It was called Fed Up. I wanted him so bad. I knew he was gonna be the next biggest thing. This kid was special.
This was the catalyst for countless link-ups since. And after his 16th project was recorded, it seemed like they'd be adding 2 more tracks to their combined discography.
You know I got 2 Drakes in the can, 2 champagne poppies on my album. You know that, right?
alongside Khaled posting banners which said he had a duo of Drizzy features, Drake was so interlinked with it all to the point that even when the record had a convoluted Mark Wahlberg featuring trailer that centered around a heist plot, the target was the 2 Drake features.
This guy's got 2 Drake songs on it, okay, 2.
And as of the beginning of 2025, there was no reason to assume that this wasn't going to play out as planned. Until in February, Khaled made the following post. "This not my last album, this my black album, J-Voice. Drake's back to work, so am I. This the one with Drake's." He wrote in a now deleted IG caption, @AO1. Matter of fact, send that record over to @BadGirlRiri. Yo, Ree, everything is locked. But if Khaled was gearing up to begin an assault on the charts, Drake was about to smother the flames when he commented on the announcement claiming, "Must be @DrakeBell." When it comes to a man whose entire career revolves around being able to gain access to the biggest stars, this was a crushing blow, and within days, the announcement was gone from sight. While looking for answers, Drake's unofficial PR team Academics revealed that things weren't as rosy as they seemed between them, and hadn't been for a long time. In fact, there were even lopsided splits just to secure the last few Drizzy features.
Remember that one song, To The Max? I get a story on that. Remember I told you there was an artist that was so desperate to get a song out with Drake that Drake took 95% of the song? Tell me if I'm lying. Khaled, Drake, anybody else. Don't ask me how I know. Drake said no 55 times. You said you needed the song. Drake said, bro, he said, whatever you need. They came back business-wise that Drake owns 95% of this publishing because they didn't want the song out at the time. He didn't think it was in line with what he was doing.
And with Drake suddenly calling the shots on IG, it seems like he's now flexing this power in public, perhaps as a means of getting as much of the bag as possible. Aside from this possibility, Academics also suggested that maybe they simply weren't friends in the way that Khaled envisioned, or that Drake grew tired of the over-reliance that people have on him, and now Khaled is facing the consequences of that.
The point is this, it's not about the business. Because at the time when Drake is the top artist in the world and he's giving out the stimmies, even when he didn't want to put out a record that maybe he's looking at like, my fans ain't gonna fuck with this right now, he did it because of y'all. Oh, well, I'm dropping my album, Drake, I need a feature. It can't be all about you. Y'all all got what y'all needed to get.
These days, it's clear Drake is done doing favors. On tracks like What Did I Miss, he spoke out of how he needed absolute loyalty or nothing at all. And while this might not be too much of a concern for self-sustainable artists, it's a disaster for someone like Khaled who relies on the stimulus of big stars. And now, it seems like his silence on Palestine wasn't the only time where playing it safe has led to his downfall. Because while the Kendrick and Drake beef was less than a concern for him, individuals like Future, Rick Ross, and others hopping into the so-called 20v1s led to plenty of jokes at his expense. And at every turn, he stayed out of it, even as Rick Ross tried to drag him in against his will. From that vantage point, Khaled was perhaps just as much in jeopardy as any active participant. DJ Khaled gonna have to get 4Bats, Central C, and Ice Spice to make songs on his next album. All his regulars hate each other, but while he didn't say anything that could incriminate him, it now seems like that's part of the problem, particularly for Drake, who needs the loyalty to be pronounced now that he's learned he can't trust anyone. On tracks like Blue, Green, Red, it was inferred that silence spoke volumes to people like Drizzy. Friends that I treated like family, they were just hanging around. And after everything that's happened, it seems like this might apply to Khaled. Left scrambling to rediscover where he sits in the landscape, Khaled has pulled the old trick of suggesting that his next album might be his last for a long time. I'm treating this like it's my last album, but it's not a goodbye, he said. You're going to start seeing and hearing about all these new things that I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing more TV and film. That's what Till Next Time is. I'm going to be giving you an incredible album, but while I'm giving you that incredible album, you're going to see all these big new movies that I'm doing and new categories that we're going to take over. Now conscious of the mixed response he receives on social media, Khaled has been hopping on viral trends to try and maximize buzz. And as he tends to these days, overstating his role in the culture, claiming that he was there for things or predated an artist's rise in ways that are numerically impossible.
You know, I was there when Lil Wayne met Birdman.
I used to work at the record store, and Lil Wayne used to go to the record store, and I used to DJ at the record store. And Birdman and them used to pull up to the record store, out their trunk, bring cassettes at that time. This is before they had their deal.
Right.
They would sell the tapes, and I remember it was like a BG tape, and then like a Juvenile, and record companies used to call all the time saying, is this really selling that much? And I'm like, yeah. You would drop it off, and it would sell in 5 seconds. Like, it would sell out. Majority of the biggest artists that we all love out here, I came up with them at that time. I was either younger or we was grinding at the same time. I remember meeting Future before Future was Future. You know that saying, I was there?
Yeah.
I was there.
Right.
Considering that Birdman is essentially a father figure to Wayne and knew him since he was a kid, that's literally impossible. But it's not just long-term collaborators like Drake who are lashing out against him either. Recently, he became an object of disdain for Kodak Black. Although he had worked with him previously on the God Did track It Ain't Safe with Nardo Wick, he recently released a new snippet where he boldly declares, all we do is win-win. Fuck DJ Khaled. Once again, the issue comes down to Khaled playing all sides. Because while it's caused confusion, it seems like his annoyance can't be traced to his support of NBA YoungBoy, which extends all the way to the release of his latest album that Kodak called Trash. While his new album's release date is yet to be confirmed, it's clear that Khaled has plenty of damage control to do if he wants the album to perform in the way that he seeks. Because for a man whose entire personality is wrapped up in being #1, the likelihood of that is looking pretty slim when you consider that he not only doesn't have the big feature he was banking on, but that the vast majority of the audience now views him with distaste bordering on disgust. Over the years, Mal has had a tendency to come out with wild sentiments while regularly using his trademark catchphrase to evaluate whatever anyone else had to say.
You OG hipster.
Hey, a telling you he is your OG is crazy. Shit on the bottom of your penny loafers on a Motown stage is crazy.
Moonwalking it off.
Where would you step in a? Where would there be shit on the floor?
Bobby Brown's dressing room.
That's fucking crazy. Seeing a nigga punching your mom in the face is crazy. That's crazy.
And
like,
all you have is let me hear
fun.
you. Let me hear you say that's crazy. Let me hear you say that's crazy.
That's crazy that your ass is on my face. Nah.
For a long time, his comical remarks and unspoken certainty that he was the coolest person in any room gained Mal plenty of fans. At worst, people found him a little ridiculous, but ultimately harmless. Plus, being the younger brother of Rockefeller Records co-founder Kareem Biggs Burke tied him to hip-hop history, which made a lot of people more willing to overlook his wild, sweeping statements. But where he really demolished his credibility was around the time of the Drake and Kendrick beef. Throughout the years and over the course of his time as Joe Budden's co-host, Mal never exactly disguised the fact that he was a fan of Drizzy. However, it was never his entire personality or overshadowed any notion of objectivity. Yet, from the moment that the first shots were thrown on Like That, when Kendrick declared that it was just Big Me, it was as though the podcaster was instantly transformed into his final form of OVO Mal. Once Drake responded on push-ups, Mal was as excited as a kid on Christmas, envisioning a win for his longtime favorite and suggesting that Dot wouldn't even respond.
Record going at Drake? I don't think he will. But I hope he does, though. Oh, I hope he does. I just hope he does. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be great for the culture. Great music. Great bars. A lot of you others get prepared to write, cause y'all in that shit too.
Drop down and give me 50.
Sound like you heard it.
I didn't hear anything. I'm just letting you know. Prepare if that record comes out, cause it's gonna be some shit.
They're gonna do some push-ups?
Yeah, this gonna be some shit. It's gonna be some shit. But we need it. Let's rap. Kendrick and Drake. Jermaine Cole is no longer a. He's not invited to the bar. He's not one of the guys.
As diss tracks rolled in, Mal chose to overlook any ground made by Kendrick while fighting Drake's side as if he had money riding on it.
This is taking his fake information. I told y'all this on Family Matters when I said you digging for dirt, you should be digging for proof. I got pictures of the little girl all in the video plastered on the wall. I'm playing with this dumb shit, and he's going for it. I'm the most lit in the game. Y'all mad, and there's no skeletons in my closet. I'm not no fucking pedophile. Stop it. That's the only thing y'all know that could fucking end my run is me being, and it doesn't exist. Stop the bullshit. But you, Mr. Lamar, you hit your girl because she's bigger than you. You put your hands on your girl. She's been engaged for years. Y'all not married yet. You living in New York. She's not. Let's talk real shit. All this 11-year-old daughter shit y'all talking about, and because he released it right after the Family Matters. It's a better get the fuck out of here with that shit. It's the best record that's released in this entire beef.
And if anything, this devoted Drizzy fandom has probably hurt his pockets, as people tuned out of the show in droves. By the time that Kendrick had dropped Not Like Us and staged the pop out as a victory lap, Mal got increasingly unhinged as he coped as hard as humanly possible.
Kendrick is addressing Drake's culture vulture ways and the way that he steals from the culture.
What did he steal?
We not talking about how he said.
All of you, including the nigga he's in a beef with. Nobody wanted to take that on tour. Don't make me sit here and look like I'm riding. Go look at all the interviews. These niggas saying, yo, if it wasn't for homie, if it wasn't for him, yo, if it wasn't for him, I don't even know what. Yo, salute to the. I'm not. Don't make me say it. These niggas said it. Kendrick think this. Rocky think this. The Weeknd think this. Rick Ross think this. Now he don't write his rhymes. Kanye said, yo, he wrote all my shit. I wish I could have that right all my records. Well, your Lord and Savior, Kanye. Your Lord and Savior. All of a sudden, I gotta sit here. No, I'm talking now. All of a sudden, I gotta sit here and look like I'm some OVO riding Drake caping when I'm just presenting the facts. He helped each and every one of these niggas. You would have never knew who the the Migos was if Drake didn't remix Versace.
Looking back, this felt like the moment where his habit of speaking first without anything close to evidence to back it up became obvious to the wider public. Mal is consistently, confidently wrong. It's the with a puffed out chest for me, particularly after he suggested that Kendrick would get booed in Toronto during his GNX tour stop, only for that to be the polar opposite of what happened.
I don't know if Kendrick is booking a show at the Scotiabank Arena and people not showing up to just boo him. Like, I don't think Drake gets booed in LA at the Crypto at his show. I can 100% see Kendrick getting booed all night at a Scotiabank Arena show. I think everybody that goes to a Kendrick show in Toronto is going there strictly to try to ruin his show.
What?
And boo him. I think so.
I think there would be people that would do that, but not at the...
Drake is the biggest export out of Canada, probably.
Tim Hortons would like a word.
Well, second.
And ironically, the person who actually got booed in someone else's hometown, you guessed it, Drake.
Like I said, I'm here for you tonight. If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. What's up? If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. But look, it's been love.
With each new installment in the saga, it felt like Mal alienated more and more of the listenership. And even now, long after the dust settled on the beef, Mal will take any excuse for a potshot at Dot while remaining an unrepentant OVO glazer. He might even be a worse offender than the OVO glazing general, DJ Academics, in recent times.
The official nominees for Best Rap Album at the 2026 Grammys are Let God Sort 'Em Out by The Clips, Glorious by Glorilla, God Does Like Ugly by JID, GNX by Kendrick Lamar, Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. GNX is going to sweep and it's going to piss me off because The Clips deserves to win, and that's not Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now.
Jamal.
Where's your...
Jamal.
I'm just saying, the boy is prophetic. That's all I'm saying.
I wonder who on the pod said Drake was rapper of 2025.
Mal.
All right, what's crazy is if you go off streams,
he is. He's the most streamed. He's the most streamed rapper of the year.
Like, you could say perception, whatever, but if the most streamed rapper,
he didn't put out a new album,
Drake.
but he's still, I mean, he did. He
Yeah,
put
but
out
you know that's
sexy
not
songs.
what you meant.
He's the rapper of. He's the rapper of the year.
You know that's not what you meant.
He's the rapper of the year. Am I not right? Give me my. Pass
He
me
didn't
those,
rap,
please.
but he barely rapped.
What did I miss?
Pass me those this year, like, please.
As the biased rants continued to roll in, audiences increasingly felt like you couldn't even argue that these were based in fact. Mal represents a section of the media that dissimulate fan fiction as fact. Zero credibility, zero sources, just emotional babble into a podcast mic. At this stage, Mal is apparently taking it upon himself to repair any perceived damage to Drake's image or reputation. But some of the claims he's making about Drizzy's place in the game are just ridiculous. As by the time you're saying he's a better spitter than some of the greatest artists to ever pick up a mic, then you're officially too far gone.
Because
do you think Lupe is a better rapper than Drake?
Rapper?
Yeah.
No.
Do you think Royce is a better rapper than Drake?
No.
Okay.
Who do you think is a better rapper than Drake?
Hove.
What about Kendrick?
Nope.
DMX.
Nope.
Is Black Thought a better rapper than Aubrey Graham?
Nope.
All right, man. You even upset Rel. You know how hard that is?
I don't think he is. All right, so if Black Thought, they say Black Thought is rapping on the corner 125th and Lexington right now. And they say Drake is rapping on 161st Street in front of Yankee Stadium. Where are you going?
125th and Lex is closer.
See, he wanted to be funny.
Crazed as some of these suggestions are, the thing that really makes it fascinating is it's a huge shift from the days where he used to be able to comprehend how beef worked and looked at things with a balanced view. For example, back in 2018, he seemed to understand why Pusha T did what he did on the story of Adidon, as well as endorsing Joe's comments that mentioning wives escalates things a lot.
Pusha put it out there. Nothing is out of bounds right now.
What did Drake say about his fiance? He said her name. A wedding ring of what?
Said he was gonna make it a ring. But Push probably feels like.
Even though, wait, time out. Before y'all go any further. I've been saying for quite some time though, like niggas from a different generation, like you just speaking. You can't talk about somebody's girl.
Yeah, you beef.
Because the second you talk about somebody's girl, you have triggered something.
Yeah.
You have triggered another level in beef.
Yes.
Like I'm getting on the phone, I'm looking for you. We gotta talk. Like really not doing that. So I do understand that.
But these days, he's even gone as far as suggesting that Kendrick deserved to be blackballed from hip hop for his claims about Drake's private life.
And I think that the fact that it shaped public perception, but again, and this is something that I said from the very start of this, love Kendrick fans, support Kendrick.
Yeah.
But him calling one of the biggest artists in the world a certified foul, to me, that was like, wait, y'all listening to this? Like, you see what happened with Jaguar Wright just went on Piers Morgan and said what she said about Jay and Beyonce. You'll never see Jaguar Wright. You might not ever see Jaguar Wright on another major platform again in your life.
At this rate, you would think that he's on retainer as Drake's official cultural attorney. But the truth seems to be that he's just drank the OVO Kool-Aid to the point where objectivity is in the rear view. He's even claiming that the new far-reaching lawsuit Drake is facing over his connection to the gambling platform Stake may be the work of UMG as revenge of the rapper's own failed legal action.
So do you think that possibly that the Universal has something to do with putting this thing on Drake because it's around bots and illegal bet or encouraging people to bet?
I wouldn't be surprised at that. I haven't had no direct conversation with him about it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But in the conversations we had since that drop, it's been very like, it's not even a real issue for him. Like, he's not really talking about it. Like, yeah, nah.
It don't look like the Ross dude is because he's riding around in the Sprinter telling Joe to pull up on him.
Among the main issues with Mal is that he doesn't present what he says as speculation. It generally comes across as if what he's saying is fact, even if it's nothing close to it. Recently, he's further solidified this beef and harmed his own reputation when his claims of insider knowledge didn't materialize. During an episode of the Rory and Mal podcast just after New Year's, Mal stuck his neck out to declare that a long-awaited project from J. Cole or Drake was destined to come out.
I told him we was getting something for Christmas. I was just a couple days early.
Okay.
We're getting something Friday though. Well, Thursday night.
Okay.
Don't make me cut that out because you love doing that shit. We all go home and you
Thursday
think we
night.
just cut this out.
This isn't exactly anything he hasn't done before. Just a few episodes prior to that, he made the claim that Cole initially had Kendrick and Drizzy features on the Fall Off that had to be scrapped amid the drama.
They both were on the album, on J. Cole's album.
No, that's
Drake
gone.
was okay.
That's gone. You know Drake called and say, "Yo, unclear that."
He said, "Must be Drake Bell."
Must be Drake Bell. Get that shit the fuck off.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even. It would sound dated anyway. It wouldn't make any. It had unless it wouldn't work anyway. No, I don't think he's on there.
He was on there twice.
I don't think he's on there.
Yeah, he was.
I know that for a fact.
He was on the album.
He was on there twice. So I don't. You think Cole's taking 2 Kendrick verses off his album?
I want to let y'all know that this is gonna get clipped and end up on Twitter. So are y'all okay with me leaving that in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure enough, their producer was correct, and the clip spread like wildfire, just like every tall tale he comes out with. But when that Thursday rolled around, when the album was supposed to drop, nothing had emerged. And on the next episode, Mal acted as though his comments were actually about the new Bruno Mars record all along.
There were some people that were saying that maybe you were trying to announce the Bruno Mars album.
That's exactly the album that I was trying to announce, people. Yes.
That's anticipated. Probably
yes,
the way
absolutely.
You worded it.
We love Bruno Mars.
We are getting new music today from Bruno Mars. We haven't heard it yet.
Cloaking the L's in jokes and misdirection, Mal's unsolicited predictions annoyed people to the point that he even had his former producer Julian calling him out before posting a picture alongside Dreamville's own boss with the pointed caption of "check your sources."
And it's no secret that I have a good relationship with Cole's camp in particular. I'm aware of other podcasts and how they're speaking about him and a couple other artists. Obviously, I'm referring to the big three. And it just amazes me how confidently people will go on the microphone and just say a bunch of bullshit or just spew out the rumblings of a rollout from like years ago as if that's still today's business. I guess a part of the lore of most of these podcasters is to cast the image that they are interconnected and deeply entrenched in these camps, when in fact a lot of these camps cannot stand a lot of these people with microphones.
Despite all of the evidence to the contrary, Mal was still acting like he knew something.
Me personally thought you were talking about J. Cole. You did not say it was Cole. I felt like you were talking about Cole. Whatever album it is, do you think maybe this Friday? Do we think it's just off? It was either last Friday or we don't even know. Is it just getting pushed a week?
I don't know about a week, but it definitely was, again, off the information that I had, it definitely was slated to drop Friday.
With the fall off being rumored, not just with you, you were the first person, not the only one that talked about what an album was dropping Friday or around that time. With Iceman, we think is almost done. I don't know. Fall off rumored to be almost done. Do Cole and Drake drop within the same month?
No.
Same day?
No.
And now that Cole's record has been announced, he's attempting to depict this as a win with a succession of crying emojis on Twitter. But this did nothing to convince anyone that he was in the know. You had no idea. Stop lying. For others, it summed up just how bad his run has been over the past year or so, claiming that he's always been wrong since Cole, Kendrick, and Drake's tension took place in 2024. He said this battle wasn't gonna get serious, then Drake filed a lawsuit. He said Kendrick was dropping an album in May and was wrong, then said an album was coming last week and was wrong. Courtesy of his bad takes and grossly inaccurate predictions, Mal was on shaky ground with a lot of people after the alleged new album situation. Yet somehow, it seems like he keeps making it worse every time he opens his mouth. One of the recent offenses came when he was defending Adin Ross against Joe Budden and Glasses Malone. For a while now, there's been an ongoing war between Adin and Doechii, which has been brewing ever since he labeled her an industry plant.
Oh, Doechii rant? Oh, dude, don't get me started on that, bitch. Don't get me started on that industry plant. You guys can say shit whatever you want about me, but one thing about me is I'm not an industry plant. Fuck Doechii, the umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit. She stole someone that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible. So fuck Doechii, okay? She has zero talent.
Once the TDE artist responded to her haters as a whole on her new track Girl Get Up with SZA, Adin fully crashed out, prompting most of the internet to come to Doechii's aid.
I'm doubling down, bro. Doechii, you're a horrible musician. You fucking suck at music. That's why you fell off and you're coming at me, a streamer. You're known for throwing ass.
No, that's a lyric, gang. Chill.
That's all she's known for, allegedly, in my opinion. Dude, you're not a good musician. You suck. Drop an album now, it's selling 2K for his week. And that's probably the bots.
All in all, this whole situation has led to the critical reassessment of his place in hip-hop, and if he even has one at this point. And to no one's surprise, one of the only people caping for Adin and trying to minimize what he did was none other than Mal. During an appearance on Bag Fuel, Esso lost it at Mal for suggesting that Ross wasn't a stain on the conversations around the genre.
Where do you rank him in your March Madness bracket? Adin, he's a 14 seed. As far as need to get pushed.
No, that nigga's number one seed right now, nigga.
But you only say that because he's white.
You bugging. Yes!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't do that. I think the same thing. Right. I don't do that. He's Duke to me.
Yo, I'm not going over to the country world talking shit on Shania Twain and the motherfuckers. They gonna give me, if I ventured over there and started talking about them white cowboys and all the rest of that fucking shit.
No, we
and
died with
white cowboys talking, they know, get the out, get Shabuzi out here first.
And as the conversation continued, things got increasingly heated.
I get some of the same shit he's drinking.
The only niggas that always letting everybody in. It's okay. You're making an excuse to Adin Ross. This don't give a
No, I'm not making excuses for nobody.
He just has him in a different bracket. No, he's ranked number 1 right now. You can't come around these parts talking shit.
Once again, the public saw it as another example of Mal rooting for the wrong side in a fight, as he so regularly does these days. Can we keep tally of all the people Mal has defended so far? I feel like it's the scummiest list on the planet. Mal is such a bozo. Recently, this got very close to home for Mal when he found himself defending Rory and catching heat for that too. This all happened after people went back into the archives and discovered a series of tweets about black women and his own status as a white man that had people feeling a little uneasy, if not outraged. Some of which read, "How much weave was sacrificed for King Bay today? White people definitely age in dog years. So does our income. Save that white boy fantasy for somebody else. I'm not cutting any weave out of your hair. I don't appreciate any woman with poetic justice braids telling me what I can and cannot do." Seeking to calm the situation down, Rory got torn to shreds during an ill-judged trip onto Twitter Spaces.
Fucking Neanderthal black people in this microaggressions, my good brother.
No, I fully
you know
understand.
What the shit is, bro.
Creole
Stop playing with
the
people.
entire thing.
You sitting here playing with people, bro, and that's what's pissing me off, bro.
How am I playing with people?
I don't even get like this, bro, but you playing in niggas'
How am I
face,
playing?
bro. With all this smug
I respect
shit
everything you're saying, and I do agree. So I'm really asking.
over it. The people in the comments that's throwing up the hundreds, they heard what you said. I ain't about to repeat shit. You apologize. Now move on. Let's move on to another topic or something.
I can
Or
apologize.
If somebody
we have
else,
a conversation.
if somebody, no, I don't want to have a conversation with you, Rory.
Which is fine.
Okay,
you don't have to have one with me. That's
niggas,
fine.
bro.
I'm not
I ain't come
asking
here
that you need to have a conversation with me.
Rory, I ain't come here to have a conversation with you. I came here to bark on you, and then
Which
you
is
can
fine.
shut the up, and then you can move the on, bro. What you talking about?
He even caught major flack from their former friends over at the JBP for how the situation was handled.
To explain his position, and had a very long 4.5 hour.
And put on an absolute masterclass in how you should not defend yourself.
Yeah. So I think that what he did right. And so then, the fourth step was finally he went on his show and offered an apology, particularly for the dismissiveness with which he had dealt with the opening part of that conversation. In the spaces.
In the spaces, dismissive, smug, condescending,
snarky,
arrogant, snarky.
What?
His position was anybody that knows me knows that I don't hate black people. I'm not a racist. People were trying to tell him we all don't know you. And
By opening that door to this kind of open discussion, he was basically ensuring that he was going to get wailed on verbally. But where Rory eventually realized it was time to stop talking and simply listen instead, Mal wouldn't back down.
What did
Rory's going to do what he
Hold on.
to do. What's up,
Hold on. What did Rory apologize for?
He apologized for some of the tweets that he would not retweet or post or say today in 2025.
Man, get the out of here.
How I tell you to come on and get him off and you make it worse? Jesus
fucking
fucking
out of here with this shit. Yo, Rory.
hiring?
Hey, yo, Rory. Go
Who
to
is
sleep.
hiring?
Go to sleep. Yo, Rory, go to bed, man. Go to bed.
Man,
I know you ain't in here. I know you ain't in here
out your mouth.
for no
How about
shit
that?
like that.
Because you got some weird ass tweets that we can bring up. Some
weird ass tweets
That's a sound ass nigga. We can get down on your ass, Maul.
You could get down on who is that?
Who
is that? Who is that?
Right. Who is that? Yeah.
As the dust settled, Rory deleted his account amid the backlash and admitted some sense of wrongdoing in terms of how he handled things.
So it's not that serious.
I agree with you that there was definitely people in there with just that intention, but there were some people that were generally just looking for an answer. And I apologize for being dismissive to those people in particular that were just looking for an answer to what some of those tweets and fake retweets and all that was. So I do apologize because I did come off dismissive to some people that did not deserve that were just saw something out of context and was like, yo, what's up with this? And I was a little condescending and dismissive in the beginning. About 20, 30 minutes in, I started to realize, oh shit, all right, we're not doing the joke shit anymore. And at that point, everyone was texting me, get the fuck out of the spaces. And I felt like it was too late then.
While in classic fashion, Mal had to take things into ridiculous territory and even insisted that the tweets were fake, which they definitely weren't.
Nobody was hurt. Nobody's children didn't eat last night as a result of tweets that you tweeted, fake tweets 12 years ago. So it's not that serious.
After narrowly escaping that incident, Mal got back to business, with his business of course being bad takes. And this time, he ruffled a whole lot of feathers by discrediting the legendary Andre 3000. For context, anyone with even the slightest interest in hip-hop likely refers to Andre 3K as one of the GOATs to ever grace a microphone. And he has also inspired the likes of many legends in the game, making his impact far greater than your average artist could ever achieve. Well, during a new episode on the pod, conversation turned to artists who get a lot more credit than they deserve. And as expected, Mal was gearing up to deliver one of his most dubious opinions yet.
The most overrated rapper to me, and you know, he's a legend, but I fell victim to this at one point too. And then I had to really sit down and really think about it, like, yeah, he's dope, but he might be overrated. Andre 3000.
The comment was seen as so ridiculous that even though he usually cuts him some slack, this was one where his co-host truly couldn't let it slide.
Only because he never put out a solo rap project and he gets GOAT status.
Which
like
he
we
deserve.
No. Listen, we know the influence.
It
We
wasn't
know what he
until
did.
Twitter that I found out that the world thought 3 Stacks, Lauryn Hill, and Tupac were all overrated and not legends.
You have to have a solo rap album.
Why?
To be considered top 5 or one of the GOATs, because it's like, it's just that I think that's one of the qualifications. Can you be considered a GOAT at your sport and didn't win the title?
But in every other genre of music, the people that we say are GOATs, 99% of them were like in groups.
And I had to really think about it. I'm like, that's not fair to somebody whose entire career is a solo career and they've put out amazing albums, amazing bars, amazing, you know, and they don't get that slot, whereas 3000 gets it. But
even with there being an argument to be made that he already made a solo album with his half of Speakerboxxx, The Love Below, the idea that Andre's skill set or catalog is inferior to some of the people Mal claims to be the top 5 was enough to get people very heated. So Drake can be the GOAT filling solo albums with ghostwritten songs, but 3K gotta make a solo project to be considered a GOAT even though his pen and talent has been proven? Somebody take this goofy's mic away. This dubious opinion got so much traction that even the iconic producer and all-around hip-hop specialist, Ninth Wonder, seemed to be coming at him, claiming that he doesn't care what ranking anyone puts him. Andre Benjamin is one of the greatest to ever put the pen to paper. I've seen people put their favorites on lists, even with a subpar album discography. Nope, 3000 is a master of words, period. But as always, Mal is standing by it through the smoke.
I think the word overrated is what sent people off. Your point, I understand your point. We can debate the point. It's not a point that other people haven't made either. I think everyone just reacted to the word overrated.
But
because there's no world where Andre 3000 is overrated. Like, he's still one of the greatest rappers that's ever.
If you have him in your top 5, that's overrating him.
Okay. I mean, that's subjective.
To me,
personal.
To me,
I don't know
if I have him in my top 5,
maybe in my
that's
10, he probably
overrating
make 10 or
him.
15.
You need solo albums as an MC. You need solo albums. It is what it is. Like, but that's not a knock on him. That's not. I'm not saying he can't do it. He just didn't do it for whatever reason.
Although it's perhaps the worst one, Mal has found himself getting dragged for another incident where he overlooked someone with undeniable raw rhyming talent. Lately, there's been discussion around Lloyd Banks versus Fabolous. For most people, Banks is more of a technically proficient MC, and because of that, the Punchline King would come out on top. But of course, Mal saw it another way.
I have Banks over Fab.
Banks can rap. I don't feel like he's a better rapper than Fab though. And it's the thing with Banks that I always noticed, like Queens, who y'all hold Banks down. Yeah. Like you can't say nothing close to being negative about Banks to somebody from Queens. Well, Fab is a better rapper than Banks.
In typical fashion, he had to go beyond all sense. It went as far as to say that Fab was in his top 5 from Brooklyn. It's not to say that Fab isn't talented, but let's not forget that this is the same place that is home to Biggie, Jay-Z, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Lil Kim, Big Daddy Kane, Guru, Master Ace, Sean Price, Raycon, and a whole lot more. In another example of his inability to gauge who's got the better pen, he also claimed last year that Rick Ross was a superior rapper to the game, only for literally no one to agree.
But this Game record, Freeway's Revenge, I believe it's called, Rick, you gotta respond.
Game is a better rapper.
Game is. Listen, if I needed,
you fucking tripping.
To the point.
Ross can rap. We not listen, man. Stop. See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all don't be.
Who said he couldn't rap?
That's not saying he can't rap.
Yeah, but he's saying it like it's not going. Like he's gonna get smoked. Like his clock is gonna get cleaned. We not doing that.
His clock will get cleaned from Jayceon Taylor.
Mal is just on the losing side of the disses from every rapper. Mal is the MVP for the worst takes in music. I don't know how Rory puts up with this goof. Although this is often where he makes his worst opinions known, it's not just music where Mal can be way off. To this day, he still maintains that Russell Westbrook is the best player in the NBA due to having the most career triple-doubles in league history.
Mal, did you say that Russell Westbrook was the best player in the... Damn. Russell Westbrook was the best player in the league just because he averaged a triple-double.
Yep. Jokic does it. He won MVP 3 years in a row. I mean, he got a championship, so I'll give Jokic that. But what Russell did, no other player in the NBA has done. He might have averaged a triple-double for almost 5 years, and nobody talks about it because he didn't win a championship. At the time when I said it, he was league MVP because he averaged a triple-double, something that nobody had done before that other than Oscar Robertson.
Okay.
Then he went on the next year to average another triple-double. So I said, if he just won MVP last year for averaging a triple-double, how is he still not the league MVP this year?
Movies and TV aren't off limits either. All you need to do is venture back to the JBP days, and you will find him claiming that Snowfall is a better TV show than The Wire.
I had just finished watching the season finale of Snowfall, and I was like, bro, listen, you can just look at the story, look where the acting, look where the story can go. Like, it's not even. This is one of the best shows we've ever. And I understand it's only 4 seasons, huh?
It's not even close, huh?
No.
We're not even gonna say no. The Wire is better than Snowfall. When Snowfall ends, then we can have that debate.
Hell no. Why is the Wire better?
Snowfall is fire. I'm not getting twisted.
Okay, but why do you feel like The Wire is better than
Who's
Snowfall?
a better character than Omar on Snowfall?
To me, Teddy is just as gangster.
Nah, unfollow back.
He's just Teddy McDonald. Teddy McDonald is just as gangster, bro. Like, he killed a journalist.
Okay, was he gay though?
As usual, nobody bought it, and instead, it's now used as further proof that Mal will either say anything to get a reaction, or he truly does have the worst opinions imaginable. And unfortunately for him, it means that when he does try to stick his neck out and speak on an issue that matters to him, it doesn't do anyone any favors. A prime example of this came when Jay-Z found himself facing some abuse allegations in the wake of Diddy being apprehended by the police. The moment that he had a chance, these were instantly written off on air by Mal.
And I want you guys to share the reasoning for why you don't believe this case in general. And I don't want it to just be because I know Jay-Z. I want to talk about.
It's not about no.
I don't even like.
That's not even it. It's not it at all. It's just none of this shit sounds believable. None of it. I'm on the side of knowing who Jay is as a person, knowing his character, knowing where his moral compass is, and when you start talking about abusing, actually assaulting kids, that's just not in his character at all.
I fully think there's a bunch of nasty people in the music industry.
Oh, for sure.
That Jay has rubbed shoulders with, clearly.
But not only did him doing so ring the alarm bells for some, others were quick to point out his hypocrisy in terms of how he treated his brother's former business partner, being accused, and literally anyone else in hip-hop. Mal dismissing it as outright has got me thinking he might actually be guilty. I love how Tory Lanez and Diddy were automatically guilty, but since it's Jay-Z, we don't believe it. Where most podcasters or commentators have a ratio of good to bad takes, that means people stay engaged with their content. Mal's consistently terrible predictions, opinions, and general analysis on the world around him is tipping the scales so much that it's giving him a bad rep. To make matters worse, it's also stopping people from wanting to engage with the content he and Rory are putting out anymore. Mal is always on the wrong side of history. Every time I hear this dude Mal talk, the more I am thankful I don't watch their podcast anymore. With each passing episode, the idea that Mal simply has nothing interesting or insightful to contribute grows. These days, he's actually so synonymous with trash takes that Deontay Kyle on Grits and Eggs claimed that Rory and Mal actually need to call it a day before it gets worse.
Professional opinion, you know what I'm saying? I think we're 100 plus episodes in. We are warranted to give advice in this podcast space.
I think so. I think it's only right.
Just wrap it up. Just wrap it up. Shit takes. Shit hip hop takes. Only thing y'all are good for is making us argue or call you stupid in a comment section. It's over. Joe won the war. He may have did bad business with you. He may have burned some bridges with you. Obviously, bridges that he never planned on crossing again. He may be a foul if he y'all over out of some money or put y'all in a bad contract. But the war is over and he has won. And you two need to pack it up.
Try as we might, it's impossible to know how much of what Mal says is real and what he says is purely to court controversy to keep his name out there. But whatever's the case, he might want to start talking some sense for a while before there's no audience left to hear it. As always, it's your boy Luesta, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Now, coming up against a lot of animosity is nothing new for Doechii. In fact, as she recalled during an interview with The Breakfast Club, the entire character was created as an armor.
What's that mean?
Doechii?
Yeah.
Okay, I used to get bullied a lot. I'm gonna rush through it. I used to get bullied a lot, and it was really bad. And so one day I was like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm gonna die one day, and I want to die being myself, being happy. So forget all of that other stuff. And then I think early on I was branding myself early, and I didn't know it. And I woke up one day and I was like, forget Jayla. I'm Doechii. And then I went to school in a tutu, and I started doing music.
What age was this?
6th grade.
Oh, 6th grade.
Yeah, 6th grade.
Yes.
And I've been Doechii ever since.
From her early years, Doechii always aspired to be something more. And in videos she posted when she was just 16, she made it clear she believed that with enough drive, anyone could manifest the future they dreamed of.
Hi dolls, it's Doechii, and today's video is going to be an encouraging video, and this is going to be 5 reasons why you can do it. I'm not sure why you feel like you can't do something, because you can. Anything's possible. I know it sounds cliche, but it freaking is true.
This is one of the countless videos that chronicle Doechii's early years of developing her persona, all of which contributed to where she's at today. And while many people feel like she emerged from nowhere, considering how much exposure she had in 2024, these windows into her early career prove that this has been a lengthy process. The end result is the Doechii we see today, an alter ego that lives inside the girl from Florida named Jayla, giving her the confidence and edge to thrive in the world of hip-hop.
My alter ego I would describe as the highest form of myself, powerful, confident, fearless swamp girl who's just in her bag and she's on and in a flow. And I think I'm only not being that when I might have moments where I might allow doubt to come in. I might have moments where I wake up and I don't feel as confident. My alter ego is really me at my best.
But make no mistake, this didn't happen overnight. In fact, she had to go through some pretty hard times before achieving the status that she's obtained today. For a while, she didn't even have a place to live while pursuing her dream. That setback came when she traveled to New York for an audition on the reality show The Voice, only for everything to go completely left.
I got an audition with The Voice. That brought me from Georgia to New York.
Okay.
And I didn't make the audition, and I didn't have enough money to go back. So
You didn't make it? Like you didn't get there?
I didn't get it. I didn't make it in The Voice.
Okay, what did you perform?
I think I did an original song. They were looking for songwriters.
Oh, okay.
I did an original song. I didn't make the cut, and I didn't have enough money to come back.
Okay.
So I had to stay in New York.
Where were you staying though? Like with a friend at a hotel?
It was kind of like every night I just had to figure it out. So one night I would stay in Jersey with like my mom's friend who she knew, and then I would like get booked at another show. I got booked the day after I did The Voice.
Okay.
So for that night, like after The Voice, I slept at a McDonald's. I kept meeting people along the way and just basically like homeless.
And while people might claim that she's a pawn for record labels today, winning a contest like that would have made that undeniably the case. Along the way, she's faced other stumbling blocks. At one stage, she's even shared the news of her losing her job.
So I got fired today. I don't do. Either way, I'm gonna be straight.
Yet, instead of dwelling, she planned to hit local studios and ask for internships.
I'm just gonna go to a whole bunch of like studios, ask if they have any internships open, and also just like ask questions. Like I don't fucking know. Like this, I have nothing to lose. I literally have nothing to lose. I have no place. I have no job. I have no children. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who cares? I'm just gonna do it. I'll let you know how that goes.
But this departure from a 9-to-5 in retail turned out to be the push she needed to fully devote herself to music. And soon, she found the book on the street.
And I just started this book. Okay, so it's called The Artist's Way. It's by Julia Cameron, and it's a spiritual path to higher creativity. And I know that sounds like a lot of like hoopla, but it's what it says here is that it's a course in discovering and recovering your creative self.
What she discovered was known as The Artist's Way, a spiritual path to higher creativity, a 1992 self-help book by American author Julia Cameron, a body of work which preaches that the refusal to be creative is self-will and counter to our true nature. Doechii pursued this and began truly grinding in 2019. She started doing Coven music sessions, where she dropped new songs and early versions of what would later become her biggest hit. Then came Yucky Blucky Fruitcake from her debut EP, Oh the Places You'll Go, which blew up on TikTok and officially put her on the map. Soon, she signed to TDE in 2021, following a feature on Isaiah Rashad's What You Said, doing so with a whole lot of fanfare from those who had watched her journey. The first female MC to ever grace their roster, Doechii insisted that she understood it was an honor.
How does it feel to be you're the first woman rapper on TDE?
Yeah.
How does that feel? I mean, it's a lot of dope ass
rappers on TDE.
It is. It's a lot of pressure, but it's good pressure that I put on myself because it's like such a dope legacy. Like, it's TDE. They're like, that's hip hop. Like, real rap. That's hip hop.
Soon, she sprung into action with tracks like Persuasive and Crazy, leading to her inclusion in the XXL 2022 freshman class, alongside other upcoming names like Nardo Wick, Sofego, Babyface Ray, Cochise, Big Scar, and more. But what people might not remember is that back when she was an unknown commodity, not everyone was completely sold on her as they are today. In a clip that has been resurfacing as Doechii became a star, Kai Cenat once roasted her on his live stream.
Tried to read me. I'm on chapter D and y'all still on the pretense. How? Back bitch.
God damn, bitch, I got 850s on. I ain't gonna lie, she doing her thing right now, but god damn. Shit. You can obviously tell that Nicki heavily inspired her, but she's doing it in her own way. Like, her flow is Nicki Minaj, but the way she's delivering it is very, I was on the deep and she came into pretend. With a side, with a Nicki Minaj, with a die, with a die, with a die, with a tie, 99.
But for the most part, the wider world first got acquainted with Doechii on What It Is, Block Boy, a track featuring Kodak Black, which in hindsight, many people didn't realize she was behind, reflected in comments such as this one that stated, "I've been hearing this song everywhere, never looked it up. Never knew it was Doechii." Shortly after that, things continued in the right direction, with Doechii crowned Rising Star at the Billboard Music Awards in 2023.
Thank you guys so much. I just want to thank my team, TDE, SZA, my dancers. This is a special night for me, because I just want to win something. Like, I just want to win. Thank you guys so much for everything. This is the same award that Nicki Minaj won, Lady Gaga won, Janelle Monáe won. So this is a huge, huge stamp.
But initially, this didn't ring any alarm bells. After grinding since 2019, a talented artist was rightfully getting the recognition she deserved. And after the Billboard Awards, she actually predicted her future in an interview where she said that she would want to be at her peak in 5 years. Because whether she truly knew it or not, the project that catapulted her into the mainstream was just around the corner. But for all the success it brought, the newfound fame provided the most amount of scrutiny that she'd ever received in her life. The project that changed everything for Doechii, in both a positive and negative sense, was Alligator Bites Never Heal, a sprawling, genre-hopping mixtape released on TDE, which came together like nothing she had ever made before. Curating it, I went into the intention of context. I felt like it was necessary for me to tell my story in detail, and in many different ways, through many different beats. A record which gave us an in-depth look at Doechii's psyche. It was renowned for its honest lyrics and eclectic production. She even opened up on Denial Is a River, where she called out her label for trying to get her to write TikTok songs. She later explained in a Rolling Stone interview that those lines were being real about the tension, trying to balance the music that she wants to make with what the label expects. To her, the whole project was about figuring that out in real time. The first mixtape released by TDE since J-Rock's Black Friday in 2010, the project got a whole lot of critical praise coming out of the gate, but ultimately it underperformed commercially at first, peaking at number 124 with 11,000 records sold. And immediately, some people got suspicious when they felt like it wasn't keeping with the level of support they saw for the project online. But Doechii's time floating on the edge of the charts was about to end, thanks to a masterclass in marketing. After strategic performances on platforms like Tiny Desk, Genius, and Stephen Colbert elevated her profile and proved that she was a dynamic performer, Doechii also received some of the most valuable cosigns anyone could ask for. To begin with, Kendrick Lamar declared she was the hardest out on one of his rare IG stories, something which she unsurprisingly lost her mind over.
Oh, God.
Kendrick said you the hardest out.
He did.
How'd that make you feel?
That was great. It's Kendrick. I was like, goddamn. He didn't say she hard. He said the hardest out.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
Has he given you that validation offline too? Like just.
We've actually never met in person. I haven't met him in person yet, but he has given me my props publicly, which is incredible.
That's dope.
And the day I meet him, ciao. It's gonna be really.
And while she was enthused about his support, she told Joe Budden she didn't believe like she was actually ready to appear on a track alongside him.
Like, your debut is gonna come at some point. You're kicking ass right now. Just from the sound of your shit, sonically, I would expect to hear Kendrick, but I know that's not how things work. Is there an assumption that Kendrick would feature on your debut project because of your style stylistically and because of your close proximity
I'm gonna
and
say
labels?
this.
I don't assume anything. And I also don't feel entitled to a Kendrick feature, but I would absolutely love that. Like, that's the goal. But I'm gonna be real, I don't think I have the record right now for that opportunity. I think I would have to come a certain way, and I don't think I'm ready for it.
Nah,
I love that.
But she didn't take the same approach when she was provided with a seal of approval from Tyler, the Creator, a man she referred to herself as a super fan of. They collabed on Balloon from Tyler's Chromacopia, with the former Odd Future leader also saluting her on her creativity during his latest encounter with Nardwuar.
And you got Doechii on there. Doechii.
Genius. Love her.
Won a Grammy.
She's an alien.
How'd you discover Doechii?
I came across Doechii. So my YouTube recommended, and it was a Catfish record, or it was a Nissan Altima, whatever. It was like short, and I was like, oh, what is this? I was like, damn, this girl pretty as hell. Like, click this, and I clicked it, and I was like blown away, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going. I was like, oh my God, and then I DM'd her like, yeah, I'm gonna need you in a few months or whatever, and then we linked, and like, yeah, she's incredible.
And even though a new star emerging often sparks hostility within that delicate ecosystem of female rap, she even got love from one of the biggest women of the game too in Megan Thee Stallion.
I see Doechii. I love Doechii. I do want to do a song with Doechii. That is on my list. That's on my album wish list.
With that, Doechii had gone from a prospect for the future to a genuine contender for one of the biggest artists of the year. And immediately, this rang alarm bells for some, with the word industry plant suddenly being brought into the discussion around her name for the first time. But she tried to take it in her stride. Once you got any conspiracies around your career, that's just confirmation that I'm going somewhere, and I'm doing something right. When people aren't familiar with the history of an artist these days, they get suspicious. I'm pretty detached emotionally from it because I understand where it's coming from. As for her fans, they got frustrated by the idea that her rise was inorganic, rather than a case of everything finally clicking. Suddenly, an artist who was revered on the underground was now met with controversy after some felt she ascended to the top a little too quickly. And if she was hoping for that to die down, what was to come was only about to make it a whole lot worse. As the news broke that she received a Grammy nomination, Doechii was ecstatic, even if she acknowledged that her label mate Schoolboy Q had been snubbed.
Who you know getting nominated off the mixtape? How does it feel right now?
It feels incredible. Honestly, it feels, I'm having sort of a deja vu. I feel like I've been here before. I feel like I've received this before, so I feel aligned.
I was so happy for you, but so disappointed for my guy Schoolboy Q that Blue Lips wasn't on there. Like, do you think that should have been nominated at some point?
100%. I think that Q definitely, the quality of his project, he deserved that spot as well. And I think that we both have very strong projects.
And as we know by now, she not only got the nod from the Academy, but received the award as well. For context, Doechii's mixtape became only the second ever to win a Grammy, and she's now the only woman besides Cardi B to win Best Rap Album, beating out legends like Nicki Minaj, J. Cole, Travis Scott, and Snoop Dogg, who've never done it. But for a moment, none of that mattered, with her fans rejoicing over how far she'd come from those old clips of her journey to now. As someone who is struggling as an artist right now, it's really refreshing and comforting to see her old videos still up on YouTube. Most artists or labels would have had those videos taken offline, and you don't get to see the years and years of struggle prior to their breakthrough moment. But all of this praise came at a price, as when she followed up the Grammy win by being crowned Billboard Woman of the Year, her detractors were convinced something was going on. This meant that what was supposed to be a celebratory moment had Doechii using her speech to combat the industry plant allegations.
And I want everybody to hear me clearly when I say that it is not a button, it is our brains. It is not a machine, it is our leadership. It is not a conspiracy, it is our vulnerability. And it is not an agenda, it's God. And while I may be the one front and center who's rapping and singing and performing, I am not doing this alone. There are brilliant, savvy women on my personal and label team standing alongside me.
But not everyone was convinced, and soon, even high-profile individuals in the game were about to let her know that they weren't buying what she was selling. Most notably, Kanye West.
Yeah, who is Doechii? Is how you say her name, Doechii? That's an industry plant. That's what I'm saying, because as soon as Doechii...
Alongside Ye's skepticism, the always controversial Azealia Banks then got involved. Back in the day, these two actually seemed to be on good terms, with Doechii even trying to tap Azealia for a remix of Crazy after its release. But once Doechii obtained her global fame, Azealia wasn't having it, claiming that all of the fame she received was part of a larger agenda that had nothing to do with music. After a fan asked her to agree that Doechii is one of the hardest rappers out, Azealia went off. Absolutely not. Everybody has convinced themselves she's good because she's dark-skinned. And if you tell the truth and admit she's boring, you're automatically a colorist or whatever. Honestly, all these sympathy accolades she's getting could have gone to Asian Doll. But rather than back down, Doechii flamed her, pointing out the many ways in which she triumphed where Banks had fallen down. Your brain is fried from meds. You're damn near immobile from the shots. Don't hurt yourself. You gossip about black artists to stay relevant and it's sad. You definitely are an issue. You're only one post away from the psych ward. Stop it. Your diagnosis is wasted talent. I bowed down, kissed the ring, but me. I hate to do you like this, but you're not finna bully me out my lane. I've done in 2 years of signing what you couldn't do in your career. Yet, while Doechii was more than within her rights to defend herself in this situation, there were other incidents and controversies which helped to warp the public opinion of her in some fans' eyes, which also could have been entirely avoidable. For one, there was this comment about straight men during an episode of Truth or Dab, which had the internet in an uproar.
What's my biggest dating red flag? This is a huge red flag for me. All right. You know what's so crazy? I was gonna say men. I mean, strike one. You're a man. Yeah. And you're heterosexual. Yeah.
Naturally, many people feel like the public overreacted over what was likely a playful jibe. However, others suggested that based on footage of her with men from the past, it was her own decision making that questionable. But noted Doechii supporter Joe Budden claims that the issue he had with the situation ultimately came down to it being a poor business move. Because whether Doechii likes it or not, men are ultimately still a powerful demographic in hip-hop, and thus, it was a misfire.
If Doechii is fluid, which she is, to my knowledge, she don't date straight men. So if you're asking somebody what is a red flag in the people that you date, and you respond with people that you don't date, then what is the point of that other than to be divisive and to offend? Mark and people speak a lot about representation and how it's important to be represented in certain spaces. So when we have Doechii up here and when we see Doechii getting these awards and when we see her
winning,
like straight black men feel represented also. They can identify with that. There's no reason to pinpoint anybody who not only you're representing, but who's carrying the baton for you.
So you feel
and
like
say, red flag, danger.
Then there were the issues arising from her apparent diva tendencies. During her first appearance at the worldwide phenomenon that is the Met Gala, backstage footage revealed that Doechii was going off on her team for not assisting her getting ready in the way that she saw fit.
Give me another, no, stop. Give me another umbrella now. Another one, right there. And another one. Give me another one. Another umbrella. Excuse me. Umbrella. Anybody, right there. Hold the umbrella there. And do not let that. I will not.
Immediately, this was cause for a whole lot of online discourse, with fans feeling a way about how she spoke to them. People excusing this just because she was stressed are failing to notice that the workers are also probably stressed as fuck. Doing all that just to show up looking like a member of the Jackson 5. With this incident showing her in a new, unflattering light to even those who support her, Doechii tried to downplay the whole thing. However, she notably never apologized. And for a lot of people, this attempt to make light of it only worsened things. As if this wasn't already enough to contend with, the next barrier she encountered on her quest to mainstream appearance came in the form of accusations of plagiarism. Recently, a guest appearance on K-pop star Jennie's track Extra led to claims that she was jacking Nicki Minaj's flow. Although she has always acknowledged that the leader of the Barbs was essentially the reason she wanted to pick up the mic in the first place.
I wrote my first song when I was in the 6th grade. I knew this girl who was a huge Nicki Minaj fan, and at this time I was really Christian and I believed that Nicki Minaj was a part of the Illuminati. I was really against her, but she put me on to Nicki Minaj and I was immediately hooked and wanted to start a group. I wanted to rap, so I wrote my first song and we did it at a talent show and we won.
In truth, some fans believed that she was using those influences to define her own wave, but others weren't exactly sold. Inspiration versus copying on every song is not the same thing. You're absolutely right. Doechii said that Nicki Minaj is the reason where she started rapping, but there's a big difference between inspiration and imitation. Doechii blatantly copies Nicki and has no originality whatsoever. And sure enough, this accusation occurred again after her appearance on The Weeknd's remix for Timeless.
Timeless remix The Weeknd? What the f?
Oh yeah, she an industry plant 100%. And it's on the Weeknd's official page. This confirms she's 100% a plant. Biting the got a Nicki Minaj delivery and flow too.
Speaking of which, this was another move that has likely contributed to the Doechii hate train, and it's steadily increasing momentum as of late. For one thing, it wasn't good for the optics surrounding industry plant allegations to have been shoehorned into a track with two big artists after the fact.
There's so many places and areas in music you can go where you don't know about Doechii's presence. But it was aggressive in this instance, in this context, because she's now attached to a song that I don't know how far Timeless ended up going. My whole point is, not only is it on The Weeknd, it's with Playboi Carti. This is not like a, they asked me to be on the song. This is a, how the f did you, like, Polar Bear in Atlanta type shit again?
Beyond that, the feature just didn't feel organic. Instead, it came off as something approved by label committees and not the artists themselves.
When you have this much visibility and then you throw yourself into the public eye to this extent, attached to two megastars, now your visibility as like where it was before, now it's at 100 million. Industry plant allegations are gonna go more insane now. I think it would just be fine if she dropped another single by herself, which to me, like, it just makes the most sense.
Some fans also felt that her team didn't know who they were targeting, and that her collab choices made things even worse. Of all the Weeknd songs to remix, they picked the one with Carti. Her vibe fits more with Doja, Tyler, or Kendrick. Not Future or Thug, this just felt forced and aimed at the wrong crowd. All in all, it feeds into the idea that TDE is desperate to crown a new superstar to fit the void left by Kendrick Lamar. And now, people feel like Doechii is being forced onto the public, so much so that it's causing a wave of backlash. But if there's one move that really fueled the hate that Doechii's facing right now, it's the release of her song Anxiety. Originally from her Coven sessions, this track samples Gautier and Kimbra's Somebody That I Used to Know, and wasn't even cleared for official release at first. After her fans rediscovered it, the song was greenlit and eventually peaked at number 9 on the charts. With the track being literally everywhere, it should have been a moment of celebration, but instead, it exposed her to more hatred than ever before, leading some people such as Kai Cenat to crash out over how unreasonable they believed it to be.
Y'all don't like Doechii? Or y'all don't like the song? Or y'all don't like both? Like, I'm trying to understand. Not because he's chopped, bro. Not because he's chopped, bro. It said she's chopped, bro. What are you even saying? Oh, because she's chopped? What the f are you saying? She's not even, like, what?
Meanwhile, other streamers like XQC fully leaned into the disgust which she was getting these days.
I just don't like her music. It's the problem. I mean, I'm sure she's a good person. I'm sure she does good stuff. I think it's fucking dog shit.
But it's fair to say that no one went harder than Adin Ross, who had been sitting on a mounting dislike of her until eventually exploding.
Everyone, oh, Doechii rant? Oh, dude, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that industry plant. You guys can say shit, whatever you want about me, but one thing about me is I'm not an industry plant. I've been streaming for like a long time now. Fuck Doechii, the umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit. She stole someone like that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible. She has zero talent.
And in this instance, things clearly got out of hand for TDE, with Doechii clapping back on Instagram and Punch clapping back at Adin to let him know that he shouldn't be saying things recklessly unless he was willing to suffer for it. These internet guys are really going far. It's the difference between entertainment and being disrespectful. I understand it's certain people's brands to say things they say, but it's going to go somewhere else. Eventually, everyone will see each other. No threats. Let's just keep it cool and respectful. And now, after aiming at someone that the industry reveres, Adin claims he has faced the consequences of his actions through his pockets.
Oh my God, I'm so mad at. My PR was finally getting better. I had 2 deals lined up. You lost both my deals. Oh God.
They f***ed up DDG shit yesterday, didn't they?
Yes, bro. They f***ed up my shit, his shit. Like, I had an ad deal too I was gonna do. Like, it's not even about the money. It's just because, like, I wanted to do it. Cause it's like, damn, it was a big ad. It was a big deal. So it's like, but yeah, bro. I mean, that's just the way it is, bro. That's the reality of how the world works. I mean, you know how it is, bro.
Yo, I think Kai is the only streamer clean enough to, like, really be aligned with brands.
Then there's the concerns brought up by those who actually support Doechii. As while the song may not be everyone's taste, its success may cause an obstacle in itself. Because if she's not careful, it might leave her pigeonholed in this lane by audiences, or her label might pressure her to continue in this lane.
I do have at least a few concerns about
Doechie's career and this song moving forward from here, because the track is getting so popular and gaining so much viral spread, and clearly her and the label are leaning into that with the release of this latest music video. But yeah, I'm kind of afraid of two things. Doechii has so much potential from here, and she's still gaining exposure and new fans, and I'm afraid that the hate behind this track, which, I mean, it's very loud and very annoying, there are people who are going to be turned off to her and her music entirely from here forward just because of this one fucking song.
Despite the fact that she's technically at the peak of her career to date, Doechii's next moves need to be carried out with extreme care and caution, because while she is the most streamed rapper in the world today, bar none, that crazy upswing in exposure has not only led to allegations that her success was engineered, but proved that in some ways, she wasn't prepared for the spotlight that comes with having a mic in your face and everyone watching your every move. If you've been on the internet for the past decade, you're probably familiar with KSI's rise to fame and fortune. Launched by FIFA gameplay videos, which eventually progressed to comedy and vlogging, KSI's empire has expanded to the point that he now has 25 million subscribers. Along the way, he's aided his friends in nurturing their own successful careers through the Sidemen, and sparked a very profitable craze through his Prime hydration drink that he rolled out alongside Logan Paul. Then, there was his boxing career, which has led to a 6-1 record, and unexpected acceptance from that community for helping to get young people into the sport.
You are both actually described also by the commentators as a credit to the boxing community because of the kind of the heart and soul that you brought to the fight. Did you feel kind of accepted or welcomed by the boxing community?
I felt like after it was over, a lot of people were like, okay, I respect it. Yeah. Like they put on a good show. It was entertaining. It wasn't a boring fight. You know, they went at it, and you know, it got a lot of people it influenced a lot of people.
But despite the fact that he seems to win in essentially every arena, the only area where he hasn't found immediate praise and accolades comes in his attempts to get into hip-hop. Because in that world, it often feels like nothing but clowning awaits him. And considering he succeeded everywhere else, the hate only seems to make him push harder, even though his songs are basically memed to the point that it'll be subpar. And judging by the comments to his post on X where he announced a new song just last month, fans don't even give his new music the time of day before coming to the conclusion that his music is bad. Why does he even want to be a musician in the first place, being that he makes millions from simply making videos on YouTube and other business ventures? By his own admission, KSI's entry into hip-hop culture wasn't what he expected, as he literally admitted that he only began rapping as a joke during his streams, before eventually spiraling into something more serious, which reflects where he's at in life.
Even when you started playing FIFA, like, I want to be a musician, I want to be a rapper. This is like, when did you know that was what you wanted to do?
Well, I mean, with the music, like, I've always just wanted to do it anyway, because it's just a hobby. Like, I just like making songs about like my life. I use music as a way to entertain as well. Like, whenever I play FIFA or Call of Duty, I would rap about what I'm doing in FIFA and Call of Duty, and I would do like rap battles between people, or act as if I was Mourinho against Arsene Wenger, and then, you know, do rap battles between them, or Messi versus Ronaldo and do rap battles between them. You know, just for me, it was always just entertaining.
And as he made this move, he decided that between his exploits in the ring and rhyming, it gave him room to do everything he wanted. After performing raps for laughs, KSI began to transition gradually, and in 2015, he formally began his hip-hop career with the track Lamborghini alongside P Money. And as the track peaked at number 30 on the charts in his native UK, KSI clearly felt he was onto something good. And from there, he came out the gate throwing shade at others for doing the same thing.
Who are the top 5 YouTube rappers?
Number 1,
Dead or
KSI.
alive?
Number 1, KSI. Bro, you cannot rap to save your life, bro. You're dead, okay? Don't.
But
Don't
no, I rate him getting involved though.
Yeah, I think he knows he's not good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's why I got involved.
See, let me put what's his name in there as well as worst.
Wait, worst or?
I've forgotten his name. Jake Paul.
Yeah,
No,
I wouldn't put him in the worst.
Oh,
He can still-
my gosh, bro. He is trash.
Think about-
He is so trash. He's one of the worst rappers I've ever seen in my life. He's dead. Don't you dare talk to me about Logan Paul.
Logan's
That nigga
better
don't-
than Jake.
That nigga don't even write his shit.
As he kept making songs with UK rap royalty like JME, KSI's focus continued to drift. And back then, he knew that he had an uphill battle ahead of him. During a lengthy interview with Anthony Fantano, he discussed the fact that he knew there was a stigma as a content creator crossing over into another form of creativity.
You know, as a YouTuber, that's just how it is. Like, you always have to re-innovate yourself and, you know, progress and keep doing better. And I'm just the type of person that I hate just accepting the norm or accepting just one thing. So I feel like with the album that I released, it's opened up so many doors, man, like when it comes to music, because I know a lot of artists were very hesitant towards me because they didn't really get it. They didn't know where I was at. They thought, they didn't think this was serious. They thought this was just a bit of a joke and all this and that. So once they saw the numbers, once they saw that I was serious, and once they saw that, I had musical talent, I feel like people are now starting to respect me more. I don't think I'll ever get rid of that stigma. I think that stigma will always be there, no matter what I do. Like if I want to do stand-up, and it's one of those things where you just have to prove yourself and show everyone that you can do it. And you essentially have to work harder.
Better known as a YouTuber than a serious spitter, KSI continued to advance towards his debut album. And in the process, he even set up his own record label. Over the course of features with Rick Ross, Lil Baby, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, Polo G, and others, KSI attempted to legitimize himself with the project that was titled Dissimulation. Peaking at number 2 in the UK and 194 in the US, KSI's debut album did well enough to be certified gold in Britain. But it's safe to say that his critics and the general hip-hop audience were not impressed. Some cited it as yet another example of a rap album that pulls the genre down. KSI is the perfect example of an uninteresting artist who manages to live well without ever contributing anything positive. And in a testament to how low his own expectations were for how the public would receive it, he was thrilled to get a 4 out of 10 from the Needle Drop.
Like, for me, I am gassed that my album is just clear. There is not a not good on it. If I got a not good, I think I'd want to top myself. Like, he's given a not good to Nav, Jonah Lucas, Lil Baby, Justin Bieber, Trippie Redd, Logic, DJ Khaled. Yo, the list just goes on and on of not goods that he's given. So for me to not have a not good is progress. I've already completed stage 1. Holy shit, this is big, man. This is damn. All right, let's go. It feels weird him saying my name. Yo, rewind that.
Despite Dissimulation not getting the best response, the alarming part is it was probably the most well-received project he's ever dropped. And ever since then, it's been all downhill, with KSI even making inadvisable moves, which has prevented anyone else who wasn't already tapped into the idea of his music career to want to get involved. Although he didn't get the acclaim he wanted, KSI's seemingly endless budget for features meant that he kept getting major cosigns. This led to the release of his second project, All Over the Place, an album which topped the UK charts and finally earned a spot on the US Hot 100 in 2021, courtesy of Lose with Lil Wayne. Even if it scored number 86 on the charts, it was a huge success, and the music video went on to get 30 million views on YouTube, a number which aspiring rappers could only dream of, and fans were impressed. But ultimately, not all of his tracks always hit. In fact, throughout his career, his songs have barely outperformed the joke tracks dropped by Kai and Speed, which led him to troll them over the numbers.
Easy's on what? 954,000 streams on Spotify. Let's see Speed's new song with Kai Cenat. Let's have a look. Oh, they have less streams than me. There's no way. Wait, but their song came out April the 27th. Bro, it's almost been out for a month and I have more streams in a week.
But this was a weird flex, considering he was only marginally outperforming the song that was a joke. Unsurprisingly, Kai pointed this out to him in brutal fashion.
You're a full-time musician and we're just only 100,000 listeners behind you. And we've only promoted the song once. And both me and Speed really don't give a fuck about music. And we absolutely said bullshit on the track. You stood there and put your heart and soul on the notes. And we're still as close to you as ever. We're better. Stick to boxing, buddy. Oh, wait! Stick to YouTube.
Still, he kept pushing forward, reminding everyone of his success in the UK anytime critics try to come for him.
No! Oh my God! Wow!
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
But he was about to head down a road which meant that people were about to relish hating his music. This came when it was revealed that he was involved in a crypto scheme pump and dump, which was uncovered when he logged back into it. All of it was exposed at length by internet detective CoffeeZilla in a YouTube video, and he came with receipts.
He goes on, remember when KSI posted this? All of a sudden, my XCAD bag is looking juicy again. HODL Gang then proceeded to dump $850,000 worth of XCAD over the following days from his wallet address. But looking at the date of when this all happened, I realized Zach has been holding onto this piece of evidence, waiting for KSI to come back to this account for years. He had this tweet in the drafts, and KSI logging back in activated the trap card. Zach also shared a picture as proof. Series of transactions from KSI's wallet where starting on March 27th, when he sent that tweet, KSI started selling XCAD. The same day he tweeted he was part of the HODL Gang, slang for someone who wouldn't sell this crypto coin, right?
Reportedly, he was part of an ongoing scheme to sell once people gravitated towards the coins, something that he previously done on other crypto coins, which he tweeted about before selling 174,000 worth of each. But KSI chalked it up to poor trading while claiming he was above it.
I've turned down millions and millions and millions of deals. Like tens of millions of me to do, I don't know, some gambling stuff or some really like, just low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. So many low-hanging fruit type deals. And I've just passed on it. I've just said, nah. So why would I go on crypto and pump and dump? For what? I think there was at one point I pump and dumped, apparently, for $150. Crazy.
But despite his efforts to try and justify it, the public weren't willing to accept his excuses after CoffeeZilla exposed him, failing to understand why these already rich people are willing to throw their audience to the wolves. Boggles my mind how these guys already have a legitimate business where they make millions, but still feel the need to scam others out of their money. Between this and selling lunch products to kids with Mr. Beast and Logan Paul, KSI's capitalistic rep couldn't have come at a worse time. Because after everyone came for him over the crypto scam, they were all warmed up to rip his new music to pieces.
Hilarious. Dad, we have been listening to the new KSI for 5 hours. Can we please listen to something else? We're going to a car crash and new song. How old is this brother, fam? You are not old enough to drive.
For those who weren't aware of KSI as a musical artist before, the meme cycle was about to put them on notice with the release of Thick of It, a single which was released alongside a feature with Trippie Redd and a high production value music video complete with CGI. JJ clearly thought he had one this time around, especially as he hyped it up a whole lot prior to it dropping.
Me and Trippie Redd have a song, Thick of It. Obviously, you guys know we have a song, but we filmed the music video as well. Music video is cold. I can't wait for that to come out. Bro, when I'm telling you, the music, top notch, man. I'm excited about music again. It's sick. Some big bangers with this song. Obviously, Thick of It. It's just about my life. Low is the type of song where if you just listen to vibes, it's a banger. You're just there like, oh, this is sick. But if you listen to lyrics, you're just there like, yo, is JJ alright? Like, he sounds kind of depressed.
But the minute that it dropped, everyone, including Trippie Redd, began relentlessly clowning KSI for the track's cringe, generic sound.
This shit is so fucking ass. Quit fucking music. Quit that idiot shit. Turn that shit off. Turn that track off.
Trolled from every conceivable corner, KSI struggled to face up to the scrutiny, and unfortunately, he did the worst thing imaginable for an online figure. He let them know the criticism was getting to him.
Imagine putting your heart and soul into a project and then releasing it to the world and everyone's going, ha ha, ass, trash, you suck, bro. Kill yourself. How does that make you feel?
Anybody that hates on this song, you're a hater, okay? He's going crazy. He's the #1 song in the world right now, and everyone needs to lay off JJ. It's about his life.
You called it ass.
Do I think it's good? No, but I'm telling people to f off and stick up for you, bro.
No. Then you're pissing me off.
You know that is ass. It's not my fault you made an ass song.
Fuck yourself. All your fans,
you.
No! Oh, come on, JJ, dude.
And when that didn't work, he tried leaning into it, only to wind up getting more annoyed in the process.
Today we are reacting to Think of It TikToks. The label thought it would be a good idea, especially because more of you decided to post more TikToks using the song. And even though I told you guys to stop, you guys are just on a hating rampage. In hell, man, you lot are such twats. Oh, man. I mean, I really like the song. I think the song is a banger. It is. The song is an absolute banger.
Yes.
I'm a mama.
That's why your mama dead. Dead as hell. What shoes she got on? What shoes she had on her castle?
Nah, what? Nah, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus, man. And I'm not even religious like that, but off, man.
Once the dust settled, KSI claimed all the rage was strategic, being used as a ploy to promote the track.
I'd say the only thing I would have done is probably the 2 tweets that I did at Dan.
The first 2.
I think those were genuine.
Yeah.
Those were me like, this guy.
Yeah.
Don't come on my business. Da 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 da. But then, because I had a single coming out, I was like, oh my God, I can just use this as a way to market my song.
Bro.
I can use all this hate, all this attention, and just drive it to people going to my song.
We've already spoke about all this because we've been shooting Prime stuff all day.
Yeah.
But I told you that I've always said that attention is the currency.
Yes.
But I don't always practice what I preach.
Yeah.
You really practice.
Well, that's what, like for me, I've been doing this for so long. So, you know, I've been loved, I've been hated, I've been wherever in between. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Let me just embrace this. Like, you know, I put the song out and it was just getting a ton of hate. People were clowning on it. And, you know, I know the song is good, but I know a lot of people, you know, are just going to jump on the trend. A lot of people are sheep. They're just going to follow and just do whatever they want to do. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me just lean into this and be pissed off, angry, tell people, guys, stop making memes, knowing that they're going to make more memes. It'll just be like, oh, stop making fun of me, knowing that they're gonna make fun of me more, and like stop making videos on me.
But considering how much he looked like he was about to burst into a legitimate rage, people weren't having that whatsoever. Someone said this was an insane cope. Bro was damn near in tears on Adin Ross's stream, trying to play it off as if he isn't mad. After Think of It got so resoundingly clowned, it took KSI back several steps in terms of his quest to be considered as a legitimate artist in hip-hop. But to be honest, he would have been facing an uphill battle no matter what, even if he wasn't a YouTuber or had his songs roll out the set into mass mockery. Ultimately, his nationality isn't doing him any favors either, because while people like Dave, Skepta, Central C, and Stormzy are megastars over in the UK, there's a whole lot of American listeners who don't want to hear it. And like many other aspects of his public persona which disqualify him from the forefront of the game, KSI has found this a hard reality to accept.
You stand listening to nigga London rap. Pop top did the pop pop pop. When you come in the cop, when the cop got, and the go did the throw in the hot dog, and the baby did the dog dog. That shit sounds ridiculous.
I actually like, you know, some of the UK, UK hip hop. In fact, I even went out there.
Nah, man, fuck them motherfuckers, bro. Well, I mean, Central C, Dave, AJ Tracy, like I could go on Skepta, like, bro, what are we doing here? Shut up. All right, we got bangers. We got UK people making bangers left, right, and center. That's pissed me off.
Beyond that, he takes the distaste towards YouTube rappers personally. And recently, he started defending DDG as he experienced hate over his own strides into music. Never forget your roots. No one truly cares about us in the music industry. They want to jump on us because we're hot. If we ain't hot anymore, best believe we're getting thrown away to the side. YouTube is the core that keeps everything alive. It's not a stepping stone, it's the foundation. Be proud to be a YouTube rapper. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Despite his best efforts, KSI is struggling to crawl out from the debris of Think of It. And as he unveiled his new songs in Catch Me If You Can and So Far Away, he's faced the same issues where the public is instantly dismissing it. Meanwhile, he's enlisting his reserves of cash purely to boost the numbers with a stunt.
Alright, yo, what's up, everyone? Okay, listen up. I want to see you make your best lyric video to my up-and-coming song, So Far Away, and I'll post the winner on my main YouTube channel, the KSI one, and also the winner gets £10,000 in full credit. I'm only giving you 30 seconds of the song, so click the link here to enter and hear it and be creative. Entries close on the 24th of May at 23:59 BST. Alright.
And in a move which certainly isn't going to help his public perception, he then began roasting the submissions.
Come on, man!
Resounding no, yeah, 80% no, bro. This, bro, Aldridge, I can't believe you wasted your time and my time and everyone else's time doing this, you piece of shit. Don't ever do this again. What the was this? What a waste. Stupid man, stupid.
And unfortunately, the reception to the song depicts the uphill battle he faces to be taken seriously, because these days, people are writing it off before it's even released. Can someone actually tell me if it's shit before I listen to it? Over the years, Akademiks, real name Livingston Allen, went from a YouTuber on the fringes of hip-hop culture to becoming one of the biggest commentators that the culture has to offer. Along the way, he also became one of the most polarizing figures, with some users suggesting that the biggest mistake of our generation was making this clown one of the voices of it. But the disapproval of some of the audience outside of his infamous stream chat is only part of the problem. Because for a lot of artists, the way that Ak conducts his business is seen as in no way beneficial to the culture. Back in 2017, the now deceased Nipsey Hussle pretty much set the tone for this argument.
Yeah, he's a buster. He's a weirdo. He's a whoop his ass in real life. He behind the camera, and you gotta just let clowns be clowns, man. Like, I was on Everyday Struggle, and I walked out just because, you know, I'm not a clown. I don't come from that world of like you make jokes about. We used to fuck up. We used to fuck up for trying to film fights. He got a little internet run going on, but you know, we just gotta let himself destruct because he's on the path.
The only problem for those plotting on his downfall is that Ak has weathered every storm, even when he turned a whole city against him. Back when he was still at Rutgers University, Ak began making a documentary series on the inner city gang violence in Chicago, which is known as the War in Chiraq.
Check it out now. See, niggas don't plan on living more than 10 to 15, maybe 20 years. 25, you're pushing it. 30, you definitely a senior citizen, okay? At least in Chiraq.
Because he covered hip-hop, the argument was that this was about the emerging drill scene, but a lot of people he covered never picked up a mic in their lives. When discussing the purpose of the series, which ran for 3 years and got its own dedicated channel, Ak told Daily Dot that he wanted to show how stupid all of the violence was. You have to let people know that this is not even cool. This is ridiculous. You have to point out or use satire, and that's exactly what I've done. However, this comedic tone he used in the videos wasn't something that the people on the front lines or witnessing their friends lose their lives in O-Block, Tukaville, and the other areas involved appreciated. Eventually, he came face to face with someone from Chicago, and he took the chance to let the world know how the people on the ground really felt about him.
I wanted to slap you in your face, honestly. And I'm just seeing you here, so I'm like, this is a tame environment. So I would keep it to my words. Like, whatever made you feel like you had a space to have a perspective on our people dying on a daily basis? And I'm gonna tell you the truth, I really think you're a bitch. Like, this is not a video game. That's what I grew up with. I've known since I was 5 years old. And to see you come on the internet with this corny little voice and make jokes about it, like, you know, I was waiting to see you.
To this day, Vic Mensa still hasn't been able to let this go, calling Ak's channel a parasitic platform in February of 2023. His sentiments about how Ak used the Shy have been echoed by other Chi-Town rappers like G Herbo and 600 Breezy.
You know what I'm saying? Akademiks always got me into some shit. Stop putting shit together and I'm gonna get up with you, Akademiks.
Although he managed to get some Chi-Town rappers onto his podcast over the years, such as Lil Durk, it's no surprise that he still has no plans to visit over fear of what would happen.
I ain't going to Chicago. You won't catch me in Chicago.
And that's because of the whole War in Chiraq stuff?
I think me covering Chicago, I've developed such a fear of it.
But when he's not getting heat for using a whole city's heartache to make his name, he's catching flack for his obsession with numbers. Over the years, Akademiks has been so preoccupied with first week sales to point that, to him, it eclipses any discussion about artistry or the quality of music.
And that's what the numbers do. The numbers just signifies who's consuming it. Let me ask you this question, right? This inherent question that goes outside music. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears, does it make a sound? If someone makes the most amazing music ever but no one listens to it, is it that amazing?
It's a mindset like this that has done damage to his credibility and his relationship. Like when he infamously said a legend like Young Thug wasn't a big dog in hip hop because he sold under 100K. It also led to him losing an ally like NBA Youngboy, who was cool with him until he started going down that route with one of his projects.
This says Academics acting like I give a fuck about numbers. I just dropped 2 weeks ago, this finna drop. Bitch, I know I ain't worried about no numbers. That's all you like to do, is to get drunk and talk. That was gonna get you f***ed up.
But when it comes to Ak getting into hot water after commenting on someone's numbers, they don't come more infamous than his beef with Freddie Gibbs. It all started after Freddie Gibbs threw some shade at his former label boss, Jeezy, on a podcast, claiming that he was irrelevant. Without being asked to, Akademiks waded into the conversation and claimed that it was actually Gibbs who was irrelevant.
I'm at the green. I would definitely not let a rapper selling 30,000 think he got and could flex on me. Sorry, buddy. I've been working in this game.
Ak might have been able to come out on top in most situations he'd found himself in up until then. But this time, he'd run into a master troll. In a Twitter war for the ages, Freddie labeled him a Teletubby and even sold merch which pictured him as one, as well as offering $5,000 to any woman who would openly admit to sleeping with him. Freddie also released some hilarious freestyles.
Niggas ain't f***ing with me. When I catch Akademiks, I'ma squeeze them titties.
And overall, it seemed like Freddie had the last laugh, and Ak even admitted this on No Jumper.
I had just moved into my crib, 8,000 square feet, so I'm like, wait, this guy think I'm in a basement stream? I'm like, yo, bro, I guarantee my crib bigger than your whole situation. So I'm talking shit. I'm like, yo, post your tax returns. I show the whole world how broke you rappers are and what's really going on. And he was just like, yo, listen, man, you look like this little Teletubby in this meme that I'm gonna post. And then everyone's like, that's way funny. And I'm like, fuck.
Besides, the hip-hop community had Freddie's back. Gibbs is respected worldwide. Who will remember Akademiks in 10 years? Nobody. The whole thing has made me love Freddie Gibbs even more. Even huge YouTubers like Anthony Fantano came out in defense of Freddie Gibbs.
Meanwhile, Freddie Gibbs' responses to everything DJ Akademiks is saying, boy, shut the fuck up, you pay for sex. My son's room is bigger than your house, bitch, stop it. I'm not Vic Mensa. I want proof that you didn't have oral sex with Tekashi, so on and so forth. So everything Freddie is saying to him.
But as he's proven time and time again, it's hard to keep Ak down. And eventually, he went on the offensive again, exposing Gibbs as having a cop for a dad.
His father's a police officer. I just want to paint the irony of this whole thing. A kid who grew up playing with his father's badge, handcuffs, police uniform, and gun, and also took allowance that came from his father's police salary, said, what should I do with all of these things at my disposal? He went to a fucking studio to make up a fake persona of being some type of gangster.
Since then, Freddie continued to issue threats, and at one point, he even claimed that he could have had Akademiks killed. But Ak kept standing his ground, and wouldn't hesitate to go off on Freddie during one of his infamous Twitter rants. After Freddie had a messy split from his adult star / baby mama Destiny, Ak used this to his full advantage, to the point that he maybe went a little far.
Freddie, what you didn't know and you're gonna hear her admit is that when she hit me up, which was about 4 months ago, your child was already 2 months cooking in that belly. When she appeared on Adam 22 Plug Talk, your child was a little bit more than baby batter at that point. That's Freddie Jr. in that gut. When she wanted to link with me, this might sound crazy, but I hope you understand the grace I have extended you. I would have been rubbing that belly. I bought a stethoscope off Amazon. I was gonna have a stethoscope in my ear and have the joint on her gut.
Although everyone knew that he and Freddie hated each other, no one knew he would go that far, and were pretty shocked by it. With one user commenting, Akademiks most definitely going through all 7 levels of hell for this one. But over the course of his career, Ak has proven that he doesn't take too kindly to threats. Just look at his years-long beef with Nicki Minaj. Back when Ak was still on Everyday Struggle in 2019, Ak critiqued Nicki pretty heavily for some of her antics, and came down on her for tracks like Megatron flopping. In response, she called him Joe Budden's sidekick during an interview with his former co-host. For a while, it seemed like Nicki was pretty unbothered, but suddenly, she slid into his DMs and let him have a piece of her mind, warning him to lay off in the process.
She said, you've been mad since I made a joke about you with Joe on my show. The people you rep won't stop your jaw from being broke. I know too much about your family for you to be playing with me, you hoe-ass rat. Where you at now?
Y'all forgot about it.
She said, send your number, my husband wants to talk to you. If I were you, I'd send your number because you're gonna make it worse.
As someone who wasn't yet a household name, Akademiks was pretty happy to have the queen of rap come at him like this and said it reflected worse.
This is signs of a downward spiral. Remember, she got at some journalist who criticized her, and eventually that journalist got fired. She got the right one. Like me, I like to keep it all the way public. This is how I came up, baby. Like, this is great. So she really just gave me content.
Since then, Ak has very rarely had any kind of word to say about Nicki Minaj. And after Nicki's husband was threatening Offset on her behalf, during the latest installment in her feud with Cardi B, Ak went all the way off.
I don't know nobody with a good story about Nicki. Nicki Minaj has continued to give a facade of her being a decent, nice person behind the scenes. For anybody who's had real interactions with her, they've realized that she doesn't see anybody as someone that she should respect. Definitely not as equals. Definitely not as someone that she can't control. And now, which is very sad, and this is why I'm so happy that she's being exposed, Nicki Minaj actually thinks that she's a gangsta bully. Nicki Minaj actually thinks that because she married a top-ranking blood member of some set, she could threaten and intimidate people with that guy. She tried to do it to me. He only knows what he knows. He don't know nothing about the music industry. He's a crash dummy. He's been crashed out multiple times before. It's the reason why he's on federal probation or parole.
With fighting talk like that, it's no wonder that some people have questioned if Ak is putting himself in serious danger by constantly getting lit off the Henny and running his mouth.
You say you're a civilian, right? But yet, you telling niggas to pull up, right? You inviting niggas to drama, and you saying, when you get there, I ain't gonna do nothing to you. I'm just going to defend myself. But what if niggas actually pull up? And the niggas actually pull out?
Well, as he proved during his beef with Meek Mill, Ak will also play the civilian card when it suits him. Akademiks canceled because he's a bad police and our culture don't need him, Meek tweeted in 2020. He also gassed a lot of beef that got people killed and hurt, and never donated $1 to the culture. After Ak responded, saying that he wasn't in the position to cancel anyone, things escalated to the point that Meek basically implied that he was putting out a hit on him. But at this point, Akademiks immediately alerted police.
Just stop snitching on yourself. Stop telling the world you're greenlighting people and just do what you have to do. When you say greenlighting, I send that to the police. I'm gonna be honest with you. Wait, Meek Mill just told me in front of the world I'm greenlit? Okay, here's the cops. Hey, Meek Mill, that's his account, that's his people. He say I'm greenlit. Are you dumb?
Since then, Meek has told Akademiks to stop posting him, but in typical Ak fashion, he's completely ignored that request. While Meek was probably just sick of Ak's narrative on him, one rapper who's taken it a step further to the point that it may lead to the courtroom is Megan Thee Stallion. The saga all revolves around the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion incident where he shot her in the foot at a party in Los Angeles. The whole thing has been covered pretty extensively, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail here, but the bottom line is that from the start, Akademiks wasn't buying Meg's version of events. So once the proceedings got underway, Ak was fighting Tory's corner, quickly posting the news that the DNA evidence on the gun was inconclusive. Immediately, Meg fired back at Akademiks and claimed that there was no possible way he could have this information. Court ain't even started yet, so why are y'all ready to start lying? I know some of y'all blogs on payroll, but please don't get sued trying to create a hate campaign. Be a real journalist and post facts. Clearly, the threat of a lawsuit did nothing to scare Ak off, who came right back at her. You've been living off a narrative, and it's sad you made it where if Tory don't go to jail, you don't win. Over time, he went from making it about the trial to going deeper about her career. At Thee Stallion, you literally signed to a dude, managed by a firm, and signed to another conglomerate. You don't own nothing you put out. You literally won all your awards off this You Got Shot storyline. Get your masters back, then holla. Hated by Megan's fans, and even shaded by her lawyer that labeled his actions as nothing more than the dishonest machinations of a desperate man, Ak has remained defiant whenever talk of the lawsuit came up, and if anything, he's gone even harder. Recently, when Megan claimed that her days of being promiscuous were over, he saw this as the perfect time to do an expose on her.
Tory knew you was. By the way, Tory felt you was easy. I'm not speaking for Tory. I'm speaking on everything I've heard about that situation. You was easy. It was flying to him. He never had to do nothing. He never had to inconvenience himself. He ain't had to do, like, you left your team, flew on a private jet without security, anybody, to see him. You're paying tens of thousands to go see him, to get piped out at his spot. He's getting free. He's chilling. He don't care.
At the moment, Megan hasn't responded to the latest claims, and she probably doesn't even have to, because by ignoring them, it contributes to the idea that he only picks on women like this. Just look at what he had to say about SZA.
But SZA, let me give you the truth. This is the ether that's gonna make your fucking soul burn. I don't care how many albums you sell. You double chin chick, you are just as fat as me. The doctors, the fucking surgeons can't fix you. The lip gloss, the fake teeth, it doesn't matter. You're just a fat mini Lizzo.
That was a completely unprovoked attack, and it only ended up when his favorite rapper, Drake, had to call him up to tell him to stop. Unfortunately, his GOAT wasn't around to stop him when he decided to get brave with women by screaming at his girlfriend about how he was the prize in a mall. Unsurprisingly, he caught major flack for that. Money can't unlame a lame. He would never keep that same energy if it was a man. Weak man. And recently, he only empowered the people with this opinion during his feud with Carisha and Saucy Santana. For months now, Ak has been involved with a woman known as Shy or Shy Glizzy. Since the outset, things have been pretty chaotic, with the girl that Ak allegedly issues a $30,000 a month allowance to regularly subtweeting him, or even posting some scandalous content about Ak on his own dedicated Discord server that got it temporarily taken down. According to him, things between himself and Shy came to a head when it was revealed that she'd stolen upwards of $50,000 from various safes in his house. But when you made a lot of enemies and became a divisive figure online like Ak has, you're more likely to get mocked than receive any sort of empathy for what you've went through. And that's exactly how social media responded to him getting finessed. A late entry for Simp of the Year goes to Akademiks. Yet Cheyenne isn't the only love interest in Ak's life that's causing him problems these days. And some of the accusations being made could finally be what derails his career if there's any legitimacy to them. Speaking about an unnamed woman on a recent podcast, Ak opened up about a girl who was allegedly unfaithful when Ak was in the house.
I'm shaming her now. I'm shaming her. I said, yo, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, bro. And you came to my house and had two niggas just fuck you raw. I ain't seen no condom, no none. I said, yo, you should go get tested, man. Like, you done. I said, that's wild, yo. You should go get tested, bro. From that moment, the denial shifted, and she kept like trying to like pivot on the denial to, yo, nah, send me the video. Yo, I'm pretty sure I didn't fuck him. And I'm like, bro, you fucked him. And she was like, no, look again. And now I'm getting super tight because I'm like, bro, I'm not about to watch this video if you getting fucked. Like, it's on my surveillance. Like, bro, like, I was fucking with you. Like, what? You want me to watch the video if you getting fucked?
Unfortunately for Ak, opening up about the situation might have been a major misstep. Not willing to let him get his narrative out there unchallenged, Zia Abash, known on Instagram as Miss Zia, took her account and told her side, and suddenly the whole story had a more sinister side to it.
I look crazy right now, but I'm not gonna stand here and let this man continue to lie about me. That's not what happened. Akademiks, you know that that's not what happened. And for you to pretend that you didn't do anything, that I just went to your house and I'm just some thought, like we didn't know each other for 2 years. You tried to save yourself after your friends assaulted me. Whether or not you got drunk or not, I know that when you woke up, you were on top of me too. Me too, and a kit was done. You know what? I'm gonna come back with my own story. This what you wanted, you're about to get it. I've been quiet for way too long.
The minute that she said that, it's like the floodgates were open, and suddenly, Ak was getting hit on all sides by accusation. Within days, 17-year-old girls were posting the receipts of DMs from Ak, accusing him of grooming them by waiting until they turned 18 to fly them out. In the meantime, old clips have also resurfaced, which show that Ak wasn't quite as fazed about the legal age of consent as he should have been.
And to keep it real, if you think about it in the bigger scheme of things, there's not much difference between a 20 or a 17 or a 21 and a 17. Just kind of mean one's a minor and one's not a minor.
In any situation, that clip resurfacing wouldn't be a good look. But when there's already a whole host of people who'd love to see you fall, and there's people chattering about you being a creep, it's really not going to help your case. Considering how despised he is, It's no surprise that some of his old enemies like Freddie Gibbs have rushed in to twist the knife. At Academics, quiet as a church mouse today. Happy New Year, you R-word ass bitch. I'ma come to court to slap you. In typical Ack fashion, he's still getting in disputes with artists even as all this was going down. Because when he caught Metro Boomin liking a tweet which celebrated all of his ongoing issues, he responded in his usual combative way.
You been crying like a hoe behind the scenes talking all type of shit, and you a pillow talking for the max. I get on 10 with you all day. What's up? You won't respond to me at all. Last time I posted you 20 times on my page, you was crying, bawling. If Savage wasn't cool with you, I would have been on you I would have been violated you every single day. Go mourn in peace, little. Don't take what I got going on for weakness. I be on everybody.
Knowing that he can rely on his streaming audience who hang on his every word, Ack has made it clear that if he's going down swinging, and that he won't give his haters the satisfaction of going quietly.
I'm crime-free, charge-free, STD-free, but I will tell you this, I am not hater-free. There's been numerous individuals who probably have felt certain ways about me over the years that they could never come at me themselves. They're gonna latch on to any false narrative. They've been waiting. They've tried before.
Whether or not anything sticks, it's clear by now that it'll take nothing less than a literal criminal conviction to stop Ack from hopping onto his gaming chair and speaking to his global audience. Because even though he'll never be beloved, hip-hop fans see him as a necessary evil, and that they will tune into his videos if there's an interesting topic or they want to hear his latest drunken rant. And when he's beefing with another MC, or those situations where he becomes the news rather than reporting it, those viewing figures are only going to keep shooting up even higher.